Feeling good. I would not pass a single WADA doping inspection today.
No,
I would fail every last single one of them. I am on more steroids since Ben Johnson won the 100 meters in 1988. Feeling good. Looking good. Enthusiastic.
You're on PEDs.
There's a lot going on right now. My knee doesn't hurt anymore. It's a very pleasant side effect of this whole thing. They gave me many steroids to try to fix my voice that my knee doesn't hurt.
What's your max bench right now?
Yeah, go pump some iron.
Like 86 pounds.
It's the bar and 2 10s on each side. 2 10s on each side.
So funny you mentioned that.
Yeah.
It was
welcome back, by the way.
Thank you.
It's good to see you. We missed you here. The show feels like it's a regular show now. So good to see you.
So thank you for saying that. A couple of things. I realize I am not ready to not work because I missed 4 days of work in a row basically. I missed Friday, missed Sunday for the first time in forever.
Can I talk about that for a second? You had a freaking streak going.
I did. I had a little Cal Ripken thing going. Gone. I'm out. Now I'm just some guy.
Rams pre, half, and post. How many years did you go without
7
missing a broadcast?
2/3.
Well, don't worry, Travis, because we mentioned your voice all the time because every rejoin was, and now filling in for Travis Rogers.
Okay, good.
At
least my name was on it.
Yeah, you were there.
7 2/3.
Yeah.
That's a lot, brother.
Yeah, kind of sucks. It was weird. Like I haven't watched a Rams game at home. During the pandemic and stuff, we were all working from home. So, but I wasn't working. I was just watching. Is it very, very?
Did you?
I had never worked a Rams game without Travis, so it was off for.
How did it go for you?
I think it went well.
Was it Andy?
Yes.
Yeah, it was AK.
Andy's
I think Andy is a Swiss Army knife. He can fill all your shoes, but it's hard shoes to fill.
Even though the game was in Baltimore, I could see you just driving in silence around SoFi and then driving back. Just like a tear
just
coming
sad,
down.
Single tear.
Listening to the broadcast.
Yeah, it
listening to the broadcast.
It was different. And then I tried to make it happen on Monday. Greg sent me home.
Yeah, Greg is he's a bully.
I texted him on Monday night, and I said, hey, am I still banned for tomorrow? And he said, absolutely. Maybe we'll see you Wednesday. We talked a little bit yesterday. I went back to see the doc, and I said, hey, this happens to me, I don't know, once a year right around now, and sometimes it's more severe than others. So when I first started happening, I went and saw, and they gave me the typical course of steroids that they give me. It didn't really help. So I went back and I said, hey, I talk for a living. I goes, oh, here. Then they gave me these things that look like you give to a horse. They basically like trying to swallow a sponge. They worked. I'm back. Feeling better.
Sound good.
Back and better than ever.
Yeah, you sound good.
We should really get you on the diamond and see how far you can hit it.
Yeah, well, I could never hit in the first place.
Hey, but who knows?
So maybe it fixed that. You were talking about my bench. My max on the bench, right?
Yeah.
So yesterday was my youngest son Michael's 18th birthday.
Okay. Happy birthday, Michael.
Happy belated birthday to you, boy. Love you. Proud of you. And one of the things he wanted was a curling bar. The one that's kind of bent. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, there's the straight bar, and then there's the one that has
bench bar, and then
bent.
there's the curling bar. It probably
No,
has
I know. Of course I know.
DeAndre, you know, right?
Yeah.
Do know, yeah.
What's it called?
It's like
a curl bar,
yeah. A curl bar, yeah.
DeAndre's running our board today. Jorge is looking over his shoulder.
Helping out.
So
co-pilot.
Don't mess it up today, DeAndre. Please.
I'll try not to. I'll try my best.
Thank you.
DeAndre, the curl balls, right?
Yeah, the curl balls.
Yeah.
So Michael he wants a curling bar for his birthday. So we get him a curling bar. And he goes and he gets it, and he's pretty excited. And he goes out to the garage, and he puts some weight on this bar. And he's just in the family room, just where the little bar I have set up. He's in, he's in 18. He's looking at himself. He's getting his pump on.
Yep.
And I'm like, let me see that thing. Put it down pretty quickly after that. Like, yeah, it's a little heavy for me.
You know how
I don't have what that kid has.
It's often to get a spot when you're benching. I don't know if I've ever heard a spot when you're curling. But I could see the whole family gathering around while Travis is maxing out on his curls.
It wasn't a max, trust me.
It
was one of those things that I should have been able to do very easily, and I might have been able to do very easily.
Did Michael
20 years ago?
Michael make any noises while he was?
No, he was having a conversation while he was doing it. I was focusing I was trying to burn a hole through the mirror.
Because I'm more, if I'm doing it, I want people to know, to at least think that it's heavier, to seem like it's heavier. So I might be, making noises, DeAndre, to just kind of let people know that this is a lot of weight.
Let it thud to the ground.
Yeah.
We don't like guys like you in the gym.
I drop it from my chest. I just drop it so everybody hears that I just did that.
Yeah, hey, I'm doing work over here. Bang. And you're also breaking all the you-know-what. It's nice to be back, Sliwa. I'm not ready to be home on a regular basis.
What'd you do? Because here, for somebody, it's different when you just have a regular day off. Mm-hmm. You know it's there. Mm-hmm. It's scheduled there. Mm-hmm. This was kind of, no, you felt good. It's not like you're laying in bed or anything like that. You just had, your voice was lost. You didn't see this coming. You took days off that you didn't expect to take off. What the hell did you do?
I cooked yesterday because it was Michael's birthday, so I cooked a dinner for him, got all my stuff together, did my shopping and all that. So I put together a nice little steak au poivre, potatoes au gratin, and freshly made Caesar salad.
Badass.
Not too bad. Susan made oatmeal raisin cookies, which are Michael's favorites, which were ridiculously
good.
So I cooked a little bit yesterday. I read a lot because...
What'd you read?
Stephen King, Billy Summers.
Ooh, how is it?
Terrific.
It's a new one, right?
New in paperback, so it's probably about a year old.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah, I'll give it to you when I'm done.
Okay.
It's terrific. It's really,
I love
really
Stephen
good.
King. I read almost every Stephen King available.
Yeah, it's I'm about 2/3 of the way through, but I don't know. I read for multiple hours.
Wow.
I can't watch TV anymore. I figured out I really can't. You got about 20 minutes of my attention before my mind starts to go.
You scroll or whatever.
Yeah, or I'll pick up the book, or I'll go get something to eat, or and I couldn't walk because my knee's been bothering me a little bit, so I was relegated to the house. There was a lot going on. Only there was nothing going on.
Well, did Susan have to pick up a lot of slack, like things that you normally do? She picked up.
No, because I felt fine.
Right.
You know,
so
it wasn't like
everything.
I couldn't do chores and errands and stuff. I cleaned out the refrigerator. I cleaned out the cabinet in our kitchen. Like all of the stuff that you say, if I ever had some time, I would like to do that. That's what I spent my day doing.
By the way, that's when you got nothing going on, you start just looking around the place, and you're like, I'm start getting rid of clothes. I'm going to start. So, that happens. 100%.
I swear,
I know.
and to God,
start getting a bag.
I did that too.
You start just doing that. You know what? I'm not having more of this. You go through drawers, and you're like, well, I don't need that. I'm going to.
I hope there's a lot of
like
X people that are in the market for some vintage clothing, because there's going to be a lot
coming
in
the
market here in the next few days. Dropped it off at Goodwill a couple of days ago, and if we have some husky people that are in need, they're going to be very pleased. There's going to be a wide selection of XX shirts, and I don't. We don't need to get into my pant size, but we can just leave it at that. Somebody's going to be pleased.
You got it all set up.
All set up. What did I miss?
It has been an incredibly, and the timing for you too. I know you wanted to be all over all the stuff that was going on.
Okay, before we get into sports though,
yeah,
you missed the I guess I would call it maybe a fight. They call it a spirited debate. But Clinton and Chris went at each other yesterday. Our first segment, it was like first take. It was like Mad Dog and Stephen A. Smith just yelling over everybody. So it was quite the listen.
The argument was about Dave Roberts, and that Clinton wanted to hear him apologize to Dave because Dave was not the difference of Ohtani coming or not coming. Chris was trying to tell Yates that has nothing to do with that. It has to do with they've choked in the playoffs, and Dave Roberts, how does he not? They're not winning World Series. That's kind of his argument. So they're both arguing about, I think one is arguing something that the other is not arguing.
Yeah.
But they were still arguing, and I think that makes for some good radio.
I think I actually have a clip of Chris Morales in response to Clinton asking him to apologize.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Yeah, that's Conor McGregor.
That was basically it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically that
was
they've
basically
had
what
two different
Draymond
arguments.
said last night too.
Also true.
That Draymond, I was trying to sell the call by punching him in the face. Since when is that trying to sell the call?
It's so funny.
I watched a lot of SportsCenter, Sliwa. I'm up to speed.
I don't blame you for watching all that.
Who's your favorite anchor?
The Draymond thing, I don't even know what to say to it. Him trying to justify what he's doing. What is he doing with the Warriors? The guy just came off a suspension. He was just suspended for 5 games.
He's going to get a lot more than 5 for that.
He's playing the WWE right now, honestly.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they have to. He choked a guy a month or so ago. They gave him 5 games. He obviously did not take that to heart, because last night he punched another NBA player in the face in the open court. This wasn't where they're going up for the ball. He didn't like what was happening, so he backhand slugged him in the head. That's at least 8, and I wouldn't be surprised if it went to 10.
He has zero control of whatever is
His
in here.
emotions, yeah.
Like zero control. And I think it's only getting worse. And I think I remember what was it, a year plus ago. You and I were having the argument and the conversation about it, about when he punched Jordan Poole. And I think what you were more referencing to, if the team's going to handle, they're not going to give him anything. It didn't happen during a game.
Right.
It happened.
They had an out.
They had an out. That's a perfect way to put it. But can't you just see the NBA just waiting? Just can you do something on the floor? Because if you do something on the floor and we all get to watch it, it's going to be a different story. It's the only story around Draymond Green and the Golden State Warriors.
He's past that tipping point of he's emotional, he's a great player, he's the spiritual leader, he's a little bit of a wild card, but when it's time to go, he's going to be there for you and help your team too. I have no idea what that guy's going to do, and I can't count on him. You know who was like that for a long time and just went to the dark side, and he's not that far gone, was Rodman. Rodman was a guy that was incredibly useful, right? Just one of the best defensive players, rebounders of all time. But it got to the point where he was so in Dennis Rodman mode that he was completely unreliable. And Draymond's getting closer and closer. He punched a guy in the middle of an NBA game last night. You can't do that. And they're gonna hit him hard.
Difference is two. This is somebody now, I think in his 12th year in the league. The Warriors are not good. So you're how much do you protect a player when you're competing for an NBA championship versus when the team doesn't look good and they're 3-4 games below 500, whatever they are? Like I think of Meta. Think of Meta back in the days, Ron Artest, right? He was still so young that he did reach a point where it felt like, okay, now he looks like he's in a much better headspace. He's not doing things. But he was also a really good basketball player. He was kind of walking into his prime. Draymond's, you're on the other side of it. There's no guarantee Draymond's going to be in the league in 5 years from now
Kerr
or something like that.
He wanted to absolutely break his neck last night.
That's so funny. I thought that presser said everything. Looking in his face, Steve Kerr looked like he just wanted to completely blow up and say, screw protecting this guy, but he still did it.
All right, we got a lot to get to. Shohei's press conference has been announced. We'll tell you when that's coming up. And what else is coming out of Major League Baseball should be very bad news for everybody that's not the Dodgers. That's coming up next. It's Trav and Slee, 710 ESPN. Bowl season, basketball, hockey, and pro football, all in action. And Vivid Seats has it all for you and your ticket gifting needs this holiday season. See every one-timer, every touchdown, and every slam dunk live and in person with great deals on great seats. Plus, with Vivid Rewards, you get rewards with every purchase. They're here for us fans, offering unbeatable rewards like surprise seat upgrades, free tickets, annual birthday discounts, and more. Visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Hey guys, it's producer Lindsay Baseball, and guess what? Thursday Night Football has a brand new home, and it's the 909 Sports Bar at Yamava Resort and Casino. Join me and the 710 Fun Games Department every Thursday night for a party. I will be giving away $1,000 cash every Thursday night. So this Thursday from 4 to 7 at the 909 Sports Bar, win cash and watch football with me, producer Lindsay Baseball. Or maybe they should call me Lindsay Football. See you there.
The 12 Days of 710. Hi, this is Michelle Smallman, host of the new ESPN radio morning show Unsportsmanlike. Heard weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on 710. It's that time of year, time for the season of winning on 710. Just listen for me to give you the cue to call. When you hear it, be caller number 7 at 877-710-ESPN, and you get to pick a holiday gift box in the 710 studio. Will it be the Travis box, the Sliwa box, Mason, Ireland, the Sedano box, or Cappy? Each box could have a fabulous prize for you to win.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets?
Yes.
We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the 5th row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free!
back on the Rams beat this Sunday.
Yeah.
The Commanders come in. I still can't call them the Commanders. That still feels weird.
You like Washington football team better?
I loved Washington football.
great.
I think it was great.
I do too.
It's great. They didn't have to change anything. Literally, the Washington football team, and started catching on.
At first, it's like, that's ridiculous.
Basic, this, that, and then I felt like it started catching on.
That's pretty cool because it's clean as a whistle.
I like their marketing to it as well.
What about this? What if they do this? And I don't even know if the NFL would ever let them do this. What if they became the team that like changed their name every 5 years? It's kind of just a little quirky, little weird thing. Like, we see teams redesign their uniforms a lot.
Right.
What if they're just, we'll be the Red Tails, we'll be the Commanders, we'll be the football team.
The Red Tail era, the Commando era.
Right.
You say the Washington football team is just the general term for, that team in Washington. So, I don't know. It would be interesting. But also, in terms of Washington things, it's been a good week, or at least weeks, for Virginia, because we're going to get eventually the Commanders, or whatever the team name is. Their stadium will be in Virginia, I believe in Falls Church. And also I believe the Wizards are going to move to Virginia. So both good things for the Virginia audience. It'll be a little closer to my home, but yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Do you still think of that as home, or is this home and you go back where you came from?
It depends.
Yeah.
I think it depends on what conversation, like where I am. So it's like, if I'm saying I'm going home for the holidays, I'm going home for the holidays.
Yeah.
If I'm in Virginia, it's like, I'm going to go fly home on Friday. It just depends on the situation.
Do you still think of San Diego as home for you, Slee? Do you?
Yeah. Still home. I think and I've obviously been in LA for a long time, but I think home is home, right? And unless you're where that could change is you kind of plant your roots, you start a family, things like now your kids are born and raised in LA, then maybe that's a little bit different of a story.
Yeah. Also, speaking of the Commanders, though, the Rams should eat up Sam Howell.
They better.
He gets sacked all the time. He throws so many pick sixes. The Rams defense needs to eat this weekend, and they need to show up.
They need to eat this weekend because they
no
got
choice.
literally no other choice. And you kind of let's get back to building momentum. I think they can build momentum off that Baltimore game.
And you guys may have covered this while I was out, but they got so close to Lamar so many times.
He's so slippery.
Yeah.
But that's a Lamar thing. That's
so
not.
good.
That's
There's
not
only so many quarterbacks that can do that.
That's not a Rams defense is terrible. That is a Lamar Jackson might win the MVP thing.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
The secondary on the other hand might have a lot of holes, and it's been the problem all season. But their defensive line for the Rams has improved a lot.
The secondary was bad. I'm not going to pretend it wasn't. But the problems that they had, I'm optimistic about them being able to get those squared away. So here's why. There were miscommunications. This was I thought you had him. No, I thought you had him. That's easy to fix. What's harder to fix is I'm not fast enough to keep
not
up
enough
with that
talent.
guy.
Yeah.
I'm not strong enough. I don't have enough ability.
I don't have a chance against this guy.
It's just, you wanted me to go left instead of right? Okay, got it. I feel like there's some opportunities there. We'll get into the Rams coming up more.
Yeah. And there may have been some headset issues too.
Yeah. But on defense, there was the one headset issue. The one on offense, I'm a little more like, come on, man. Matthew Stafford's been in the league for 186 years. If he can't hear,
figure it out. Yeah, you go.
If this were, Brett Rippon and he can't hear, I understand why the thing breaks down. Matthew Stafford knows the place to call. He knows what protections to ask for. He knows how to do that. And Sean McVay knows how to do it. So it's one of these, I can't hear you, I got it.
Just so they have less headset issues, they should have it with a cord all the way through.
Wired all the way out to
Wired
midfield.
all the way, plug it in.
Why not? All right, so the Ohtani press conference is coming up tomorrow, Em?
Yes, tomorrow at 3 p.m. in Dodger Stadium.
In Dodger Stadium.
Okay.
So we're going to get to see him put the jersey on. We're going to get to see him put the hat on.
Yep.
And it's going to be awesome because Shohei Ohtani on the Dodgers is awesome.
Yep.
Full stop. There's nothing other than awesomeness when it comes to that stuff. But I thought that what came out of San Francisco yesterday is really bad news for teams that are not really good for a very long period of time, because the reporting was the Giants offered virtually the same offer that the Dodgers ultimately got Ohtani to sign for. It sounds like Ohtani went to the Dodgers and says, here's what I'm thinking. How about $700 million for 10 years, but I'm going to defer almost all of this.
680 will be deferred.
680 deferred. How does that sound? The Dodgers went, sounds great. They went to the Giants and said the same thing, and the Giants basically went, sounds great. It came down to, where do you want to be?
Which team do you want to play?
There's no.
Which team do you want to play for?
Well, this is a little better here. This is and I understand San Francisco and Los Angeles are different culturally. They're different, sports markets. But what the Dodgers have that virtually no other team in baseball, other than Houston, Atlanta, and oddly Tampa, can offer is, guys, we're going to be in it every single year. We're going to go to the playoffs every single year. We're going to win somewhere between 90 and 106 or 7 games every single year. What this man wants more than anything else is to play in the postseason.
Sure.
The Dodgers are as close to a sure thing to give him that as anybody in baseball. The Giants are a well-run team, but over the last 10 years, Giants have been up and down. They've been all over the place. They haven't been a consistent high-level performer. And if Ohtani is setting the bar, look, we can get creative financially. I want to win. This was the place all along. And so when you're the Mariners, if you're, God forbid, the Angels, and you have to make a pitch to one of these teams, hey, we're going to give you all this money. Yeah, but so are they, and they're going to win. That's a really tough objection to overcome.
What's the most important thing for Shohei Ohtani? For maybe it would have been different if a player that had already won a couple World Series, that had already been in the playoffs a number of different times, maybe that's a little bit different of a situation for him. Shohei has done nothing literally in the postseason. For as long and as great as he's been in Major League Baseball, he hasn't been anywhere close to a postseason run, an October run. I think San Francisco can make a pitch. They can. They could say, guys, listen, we've won 3 World Series in the last 15 years.
But they all came.
But you got to look closer
in the last 10.
But you got to look closer. The last one they had was in 2014.
Right.
If you're Shohei Ohtani, you're asking yourself, what is my better shot here? To go to a team that has stacked up some World Series, but it was between 10 and 14 years ago, or the Dodgers have also, and I don't know if this is part of his thought process, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. The Dodgers have been letting their fans down every postseason for X amount of years. Maybe there's a little bit to show, say, I could come to a team that I know is going to make the playoffs every single time. There's unlimited resources. They have a really good farm system. They already got these MVP caliber players on the roster. And oh, by the way, if we do win a World Series, who's going to get that credit? Shohei Ohtani is going to get that credit. He is. Like, think about that.
Oh, yeah.
If the year he comes, they end up getting over the hump and they win a 162 game, as in they win one of those,
right,
the credit's not going to go. And I'm not telling you that Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts and Clayton Kershaw and Bobby Miller and go down the list of these other players. The credit's going to go to Shohei Ohtani.
The only way it wouldn't, and I don't think this is likely, is if they get to the finish line and Ohtani's
he was bad
in the postseason.
Yeah.
But
take your chances.
I'll
take your chances.
But we haven't seen it. That's the whole thing. It's like
it's okay.
we are paying a high premium for someone that we have not seen in the postseason. Like we said last week, what if Ohtani gets to the postseason and he doesn't perform? I think he will perform, but what if he doesn't?
Okay, let me throw. It's a fair question.
Let's cross that bridge when we get there.
Yes. Ohtani showed up on the biggest stage in high school in Japan, which is a huge deal. It's arguably the biggest baseball tournament in Japan is the high school one. He won that.
Yep.
He goes to the NPL and wins that. He goes to the World Baseball Classic.
And I think was the MVP in that in the NPL.
Wins the World Baseball Classic. Every time he's had an opportunity to show up when it matters most, he's punched his ticket.
Right. And didn't Mookie and Freddie also until they got to the Dodgers? So if Ohtani does not show up, is it more of an indictment of the Dodgers organization, their prep for the playoffs, something in the air, because 3 guys that have made it on every other level can't make it here? I'm just throwing it out there.
It's interesting. Freddie and Mookie were both really good in their postseason runs elsewhere, right? Mookie was really good in his postseason run here with the Dodgers in 2020, as weird as that season was. So it's more of the most recent history with those guys as opposed to their lifelong history. So you're right that there could be a situation where the energy in the room, and again, I think Ohtani's immune to this stuff just because he's that 1 in a million guy.
So
right?
individual.
So individual. And just so as good as Mookie is, as good as Freddie is, those guys aren't Ohtani. And they have, Ohtani's the only baseball player that's famous outside of baseball. Freddie Freeman isn't famous outside of baseball. Mookie maybe a teeny tiny bit. But Ohtani's internationally famous. He's not afraid of people looking at him. He's not afraid of that. I don't know if Mookie and Freddie and the rest of the Dodgers, for lack of a better word, puckering up at the finish line is going to affect him. I think he's as close to immune to that stuff as it could be. I'll tell you this, though, Al.
Yeah.
When we get to October 4th or 5th or whenever the playoffs start, I'll be paying attention.
Well, I think
I'll be a little tight.
I think what Emily's saying is that it's you can easily kind of have that in your head because they've had such bad playoff. These last 2 playoff series, they won 1 game.
Yeah.
Right? They won 1 game against 2 teams that they were supposed to. This isn't going to be a close series, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Not only was it close, they lost those 2 series. So there probably are a lot of Dodger fans. I don't think they're thinking of this today, but I think they're going to be thinking about it come October when it's like, okay, is there going to be that moment where everybody gets over the hump and then it's watch out and the wheel is just going downhill?
And by the way, they might not be done yet. There's all sorts of rumors already out there this morning, late yesterday, about who they might have next. That's coming up. It's Trav and Slee, 710 ESPN. And listen all day during the 12 days of 710 for our new morning show host, Michelle Smallman, to tell you when to call in. When she does, you're going to want to be caller number 7 at 877-710-ESPN. And you get to choose a holiday box in the 710 studio to win fabulous prizes. Will it be the Trav box, the Slee box, Mace box, Ireland box, Sedano's box, or the Cappy box? The season of winning on 710.
All right, the triple treat box. How about this? 3 courses, 1 festive box. You know, one of the downsides for Travis not being here last Friday is Pizza Hut coming in here, delivering us some food. There's no place like the Hut for the holidays, and there's no better holiday meal than the triple treat box. 2 medium, 1 topping pizzas, 5 breadsticks, and 10 Cinnabon mini rolls, or the ultimate chocolate chip cookie. A win for the holidays with something that makes everyone happy, provides a festive treat to unbox, bring to a party, elevate a family dinner, rescue dinner, or even use as a holiday present. Full course meal for a group in one, appetizer, dinner, and dessert. Make sure you use this code. Take advantage of this. Use the code ESPNLA10 for $10 off your order of $40. Again, that's ESPNLA10 is the code for $10 off your order of $40.
The 12 Days of 710. Hi, this is Michelle Smallman, host of the new ESPN radio morning show Unsportsmanlike. Heard weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on 710. It's that time of year, time for the season of winning on 710. Just listen for me to give you the cue to call. When you hear it, be caller number 7 at 877-710-ESPN, and you get to pick a holiday gift box in the 710 studio. Will it be the Travis box, the Sliwa box, Mason, Ireland, the Sedano box, or Cappy? Each box could have a fabulous prize for you to win.
Elevate your game at Hollywood Park Casino. Join Travis Rogers and Kirk Morrison this Sunday for their live Rams postgame show from the Rays Lounge at Hollywood Park Casino. Win prizes and interact with Travis and Kirk. Hollywood Park Casino is Los Angeles' premier card room casino and entertainment destination. Reminder, party, oh party, Sunday after the game. Come see Travis and Kirk and enjoy a postgame meal and drink at the Rays Lounge right after Rams football is done. Hollywood Park Casino. Eat, drink, play.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets?
Yes.
We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the 5th row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free!
Slee, if you're going to Venmo Emily some money anytime soon, make sure you get the right Emily Hebel because she had a snafu.
Yeah, I keep sending it to the wrong person.
Somebody else is getting rich on you.
Somebody else.
It's so funny because, so last night, I essentially wasn't a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode, and
But it was close to it.
Yeah, it was pretty close to a Curb episode. So I went to see a movie with my friend Devin, who, if you remember from the past, she also forgot her credit card to get into a parking lot, so I had to pay for her there. So she is someone who maybe is not, she's a freewheeling person, so maybe she doesn't have her stuff all the time.
She was front. You were fronting her money. You were alone. You were a bank yesterday.
So yesterday we went to a movie. She came a little late because she was coming from work, and I ordered my food, and then she comes and she's like, "Shoot, I forgot my credit card," and asked if she could use Apple Pay. They don't take Apple Pay here, so I was like, "Sure, I'll pay." But it kind of felt like, again, the Curb.
Did you say it like that?
No, I was like,
because I would have went home and got my credit card.
Me too.
I said, "Yeah, I got you. Don't worry about it." So it's like just Venmo me at the end of the movie.
Fine.
But it does feel like I could picture
giving her a
myself.
budget.
Hold on, let me put this down. How much is your ticket?
I could picture myself though as Larry David, who's
Yeah,
just
one
like
soft
the things in my brain. And so then she orders her food or whatever. I order my food. Movie goes on. About halfway through the movie, she still hasn't gotten her food yet. So I kind of try to flag down a waiter, and I say, "Oh, hey, she hasn't gotten her food yet." And then the waiter is deaf, was signing to me, and I was like, "Oh no, I don't know enough sign language to like participate in this conversation."
Sure.
And so then a waiter came over. Again, I felt like very Curb Your Enthusiasm in that as well. And then then she ordered more food than I did, which is fine, but it's also like,
Is it?
when you're
But is it?
when you're using your friend's credit card, I think that you match what I'm getting.
I'm with you on that one. Like it
Yeah.
wouldn't bother me necessarily,
Yeah.
but it's one of those things that you kind of like.
I keep a track.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Like
I'm,
if she ordered a popcorn and a Coke, right? And
Yeah.
she goes, "I'll take the ribs, the nachos, a martini, and dessert."
Yeah.
And you're like, all right.
Here's the only reason why, and I'm with you. I'm going to be a little embarrassed. I'm going to order less than I would if I got my own credit card. The only reason why it was okay. Did she handle
Yeah,
business
she Venmo'd
right
me
after?
right afterwards, but it
Venmo
was
right after.
Still weird.
But it's also one of those things too. When we got the check, it's like you gotta, account for tax. You gotta account for everything. But it would have been easier if we had just got the same thing and we could have split it down the middle. So because our things were all priced the same.
Yeah.
So then she added another one. Then we had to calculate. Oh, what's the third drink cost? Like everything.
She bought like merchandise too. She bought 3 shirts.
Yeah.
Got a sweater.
She's tipping heavy.
So
I'm gonna give you 40% on that.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah, look, I'm in a good mood tonight. Here's a little something extra.
The
Buy
bigger
something nice.
purchase was the drinks and food in the theater. So we leave the theater, we're talking, and then we get to, she's like, "Oh shoot, I don't know how to get out of the garage because again, I don't have my credit card to pay for my thing out of the garage." And I was like, "Don't worry, again, I'll get you." And so I pay for both of our parking passes or whatever, and then I see her like on her Venmo to send me the $4 or whatever for the parking pass, and I see it. She sends it. I don't get a thing, but sometimes Venmo's late. Whatever. Then I just requested it because I'm like, it's been enough time. Maybe she just sent it to the wrong person or she was doing something else on her phone. And she was like, "I thought I already sent it to you." It's like, no. And then she was like, she sent me a screenshot, and I was like,
That's not me.
that is not me, because she had already spent the food to me, but she sent the other thing to another Emily Hebel, and I was like,
What the
I did
hell?
not know that there's another Emily Hebel walking the earth, because if there's a last name Hebel, I likely know them and most likely are related to them because my last name is very odd. So yeah, it was very weird situation.
Can you? I don't know Venmo well enough. Can you pull that money back from the wrong person?
So you can't.
You can't.
So
They have to basically, I think,
they would have to
deny,
send it back to you. So
or deny
again,
the transaction.
in
or
that
something along those
situation,
lines.
would you can't deny it. You can just send it right back. So if it gets put into your account,
It was $4.
it's $4. It's nothing.
I'd let that go.
Yes.
But if it were $40, I'd try to get it back.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, would you send back money if someone Venmo'd you by accident?
Put it this way,
I don't know
somebody
the
Venmo'd
person,
me $4 from a person I don't know, it'd be like, well, this is weird. But I wouldn't. But if it were a significant amount of money, I'm like, I don't even know where this is coming from. But until somebody reaches out and says, hey, I meant to send it to Alan Sliwa.
Yep.
And I sent it to Alan Silwa. And Alan Silwa, send me the money back.
Right.
You can reach out and ask for it, right?
Yeah, not really. You
No?
have to honestly send more money.
I
Like
would
a
assume-
penny. Say, hey, I sent that wrong thing in the back. I sent that to the wrong person. It's not like a chat.
I
You
would
can't chat.
assume that there was some kind of fraud going on. I've had that happen with Venmo.
Yeah.
So it's like if somebody, I'm like, all right,
You're right.
I'm not
I
going
would
to
too.
trust. I'm not
You're
going to
right.
trust what's going
Yeah,
on.
sure. See you later.
But
$4.
also, Venmo puts out a thing, you have to verify that if the person is not in your contacts list,
Right.
you have to verify that this is a
With a
person that you're
phone
trying to
number or
send.
something like
so
that,
it's usually
yeah.
a phone number or like a picture or whatever. Just verify that you know this person. And so clearly Devin just blew through that and sent it to me, assuming that it was that. I just thought it was very funny, and I thought it was very Larry David-like.
That's a series of weird things in a very short period
It was
of time.
great, though. Eileen, would recommend.
Eileen. I don't know it. Have you seen Eileen Sleep?
It was
have
actually
you
off a
seen
book.
Godzilla -1 yet? You said you were.
No, I have not seen it. I have not seen
would've
it.
Did
won
you
that
try to ask Lady Slee to come and she put up the stop sign?
No, she hasn't. So she's been in New York. She left on Monday for work, so I have not.
Bachelor Slee.
She was. It's weird too. You know how you always say that too, like
It's
you
fun
don't know what
for
to do.
12 hours.
Yeah, about 12, maybe 14. She's like, "Why do you keep calling me?"
Yeah.
I'm trying to
I'm
work.
like, "I
here.
don't know who to talk to."
Laura just weighed in so
Somebody
that
to
she's
talk
had
to.
people send back money to her that she accidentally sent wrong. But again, I think if you're sending, especially if you're sending a significant amount of money, it's on you to make it right.
All right. Ask Trav coming up here in about 5 minutes or so. So if you want to send those in, you can send them to Al. You can send them to Jorge. You can send them to Emily. And we'll do that coming up in just a couple of minutes. Jorge, very
I think
quickly
just
for
a
you.
quick idea. A lot of questions on what the hell you did over the time that you were off.
A whole bunch of nothing.
I think that's what people really want.
That's
to know.
good. I'll do that. Jorge, how's DeAndre doing?
He's a little shaky.
Okay.
A little scared. I'm like, hey, treat it like
I
a
don't see
basketball,
it.
man. Come on.
Yeah, I don't see it.
You control this. Don't let this control you.
What is he messing up the most?
Just a little slow on the music, and I mean he's got it down.
All right.
He just needs to work on a little speed, get a little faster.
We're gonna ask the same question.
This,
We're gonna ask the same question in a month.
to be honest.
And DeAndre is gonna be like, guys,
Jorge
please,
sucks
everybody
at
get
this.
out of the way.
He's got the music.
Everybody
do a
get
little
out of the
slow
way,
on the
bro.
music.
Do you know
Little
who
slow
I
on the
am?
drops.
It's gonna be Luka throwing that pass yesterday. Dante Exum.
I'll be like Green in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Get it right.
I still can't get over that. And that Draymond tried to sell it by, I was trying to sell the call.
Jesus,
You're trying to sell
Draymond.
the call by punching someone in the face in the open court.
I
Got
don't
it.
know. I'm someone who laughs at Draymond Green. I'm just like, oh, Draymond. I know it's a serious thing. He gets hit in the head. He should get suspended.
Oh, he will.
XYZ.
Guy's a freaking wild card.
I-
You got no idea what he's gonna do
I
every
laughed.
game.
I laughed. I said, ha ha ha, Draymond Green, you're so funny to me.
Nobody in the Warriors organization is laughing.
No.
And that's not me.
Yeah, I just I like wild cards. I like the spark, whatever you want to call it, the unpredictable,
Sure.
Guy, the live wire. I like those guys, but there's a point where you go beyond that, and you're just a bozo, where you're just a clown, where you're
hurting your squad.
You're killing your team. Look, the Warriors are not a particularly good team this year, and Draymond is incredibly important to what they're doing, and he's punching guys. Like,
Just 30,
What are we
I
doing?
think.
On the heels of
He's-
choking out another
I was
guy.
gonna say,
Third
I think it's his
ejection
third
this year.
ejection this year. One of those ejections got you 5 games. I can't remember
It's not
what the
even
first one
Christmas.
was.
He's had 3 ejections. It's not even Christmas.
point.
And he's had to miss games because of the second ejection.
Well, this is not apples
Jeez.
to apples, but John Morant was doing his thing, and the league said, "Hey, enough," and they gave him a suspension that should have made the alarm go off. Like, all right, I got to fix this.
What did he get his
what.
first one? Like 8, maybe?
It's something like that, right? A couple of them were unofficial. You
Oh,
remember
yeah,
that
that's
whole
right.
thing?
It was serving part of whatever he was
Right,
already out.
Right,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
they dinged him, and then a month or two later, he's on
Social
Instagram
again.
Live with the gun, and the league basically said, "Oh, you don't get it? Okay, well,
Here's
how about
25.
25? Now let's see if you get it." Draymond's almost putting them in a similar position where, look, you've been kicked out 3 times, like Emily's point, before Christmas. You choked a guy at center court, and you punched another guy where everyone could see it. Like, if it's, believe it, under the basket where elbows are going, and say sometimes stuff happens, and even if it's intentional, you can at least sell it as, man, I didn't even know where he was. You can't sell that in this one. This was, he punched a guy in the face. They're gonna have
Idiotic.
They're gonna have to hit him hard. I think 8 is the floor. Maybe 12 is the ceiling. I wouldn't be shocked if it landed somewhere in between there.
Why last year then when he knocks out Jordan Poole?
Because nobody saw it. It wasn't during a game. It wasn't an opposing player. It was, if I get in a fight with my brother.
Because I thought that was going to happen. Like what you're saying right now, 8 to 10 games, something like that. I'm like, well, the video got out. If the video got out, if the video never comes out, that's different. But now we're seeing it. I'm like, he's going to get 8 to 10 or something along those lines.
We're going to handle this internally. This is a family affair. If I got in a fight with my brother, nobody's putting me in jail if it happens at home, even if people see it. But if I punch a stranger in a supermarket, I'm going to jail. And that's what Draymond did last night.
Yeah.
And he's not going to jail, but he's going to miss a whole bunch of time. Ask Trav coming up next. It's Trav and Slee, 710 ESPN. Head into your neighborhood Valvoline Instant Oil Change, home of the 15-minute drive-through oil change. Because for over 30 years, Valvoline has provided quick and convenient automotive maintenance services for busy people just like you and me. So before you pack up your car and head out of town to go spend your family's holidays, make sure that you get into your neighborhood Valvoline Instant Oil Change and let the expert technicians make sure your ride is at its best. The last thing you want is to be heading to grandma's, your mom's, your dad's, your brother's, wherever you're headed for the holidays and have the car go south. Make sure you get it taken care of at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Over 80 locations ready to help you get your ride ready for the road in no time. So visit SoCalOilChange.com for locations and game-winning coupons off of your next Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
The 12 days of 710. Hi, this is Michelle Smallman, host of the new ESPN radio morning show Unsportsmanlike. Heard weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on 710. It's that time of year, time for the season of winning on 710. Just listen for me to give you the cue to call. When you hear it, be caller number 7 at 877-710-ESPN, and you get to pick a holiday gift box in the 710 studio. Will it be the Travis box, the Sliwa box, Mason, Ireland, the Sedano box, or Cappy? Each box could have a fabulous prize for you to win.
Hey guys, it's producer Lindsay Baseball, and guess what? Thursday Night Football has a brand new home, and it's the 909 Sports Bar at Yamava Resort and Casino. Join me and the 710 Fun Games Department every Thursday night for a party. I will be giving away $1,000 cash every Thursday night. So this Thursday from 4 to 7 at the 909 Sports Bar, win cash and watch football with me, producer Lindsay Baseball. Or maybe they should call me Lindsay Football. See you there.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets?
Yes.
We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the 5th row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free! Big news, Laker fans. John Ireland here. You can now stream every Lakers game on the ESPN LA app. Don't miss a second of the action with Michael Thompson and I on the call. Plus, all your live and local Lakers talk every day in the palm of your hand.
You're one tap away from everything Lakers.
You could even win Lakers tickets.
Download the ESPN LA app. And bam!
Download the ESPN LA app at the App Store and Google Play.
All right, we're doing Ask Trav here. So if you want to get in on the phones, 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-ESPN. And I'm sure they got a lot of questions for you because you basically miss time and you never miss time. So
That's a lot of time.
Let's start with this. Animal fries, well
I still
done.
sound good, by the way. We're 48 minutes in, and I'm hanging out.
It sounds like you're back.
I know, right?
And don't do Messi void. Don't do any of that.
Messi actually is probably therapeutic. I should probably try.
I think Messi took him out.
Yeah,
I think Messi took you out because you did
Ask
Messi. That's actually not terrible.
Maybe in a couple weeks when your voice
Do
has
it on
recovered.
like the day before you leave.
Now? I don't want to wait 2 weeks.
There it is. He's gone. We'll do it the day before you take time off for the holidays.
There you
Animal
go.
Fries, well done. Says, congratulations on surviving the Oregon Trail. Welcome back.
Okay.
This is an interesting one. Which of the hosts at 710 is most likely to defer their salary for 10 years in order to surround themselves with talent? Who would demand their money up front?
I would demand my money up front. I'm gonna choose myself as the person that wants to get paid.
You
right
did
away.
hesitate there.
Yeah, no, I would take me first.
Okay.
That's my.
I'm leaning towards someone I think that would defer. Who do
I
you
think it would
defer?
be you. I do. I think it would be you because, look, this job is a very individual job.
Mm-hmm.
This job is about making sure that you get what you need first.
Mm-hmm.
You are much more of a team player than most of the people that sit in these seats. You are far more willing to do what's best for the group as opposed to what's best for the individual. So I think you would be the person most likely to defer.
Do you know where I was leaning towards? And maybe this just has to do with financially and this and that. I was leaning towards Mace.
Mace is probably the one financially that could afford to defer.
Uh-huh.
But there's also something that comes along. No, I'm going to take it right now.
We'll have to ask Mace later.
We'll ask
Mace,
you.
you deferring?
Yeah. I'm taking mine.
All right, so I have from the VP of the Handsman community, so shouts out to you. So he says, what's an acceptable price for micheladas and beers? And I'm going to, change this slightly. I'm going to ask you, because of Ohtani getting
I was going to
Ohtani.
say at Dodger Stadium?
Yeah.
Or-
At Dodger Stadium. What is the price that would make you not get a beer when you go to Dodger Stadium?
What is it right now? If you go get
If you get a tall
26.
Modelo, it's like $20.
Yeah, $20.
Yeah,
Michelada's like 26 $26. Michelada.
Yeah.
Modelo's like 18
Yeah.
or 20.
Now it's not. It's a 24-ounce beer.
Gosh.
It's like 2 beers basically. So
Yeah.
you're talking $13 a beer ish. If you're going by like a typical can. $25 for 2 beers is a lot, but it's not a deal breaker. I think if you got into,
especially if you want it, like I'm
40.
there.
right, I'm not paying $40 for a can of beer.
30?
For $25, I could pregame in the car, dog.
Yeah, I don't think I'm paying $30 for a can of beer, but that's probably a lie.
But you're already there.
That's what I mean.
You
I'm
know, you want
there.
the
The game's.
experience.
It's hot. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
I see the guy next to me. There's little beads of sweat running down the can. I'm like, yeah, no, I need. Not only am I getting 1, I'm getting 2. And we're doing that. But 40 is a no chance.
Yep.
I'd probably play 30. Try me at 35 and see
man.
what happens.
Bro, but I tell you what, if you paid $35, the first thing you're doing the next day is you're coming in here and you're complaining that you paid $35.
100%.
Yeah. They should have a presser after Ohtani
And-
tomorrow about what to expect
For
of the
Hor-
prices moving forward.
To Jorge's point,
Yeah.
I'm going to take care of business before I even get there in that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. One from Francis in Glendale. When your voice was jacked up, how many times did you point at your throat whenever Susan or the kids asked you a question you didn't want to answer?
More times than I could count. More times than I could count. I just, sorry. Can't, so the voice. I did it for 2 days. It was great. Now, when it was something that I was engaged in, my voice would miraculously heal all of a sudden. But when it's conversations about other things, like, hey, what are we going to do here? What do we got going on there? I'm like, I really can't do anything right now. Yeah, I used it frequently and loved every minute of it.
I got another one from Jorge in LA Live.
Yes.
What's going on with the music from the neighbors' Christmas lights?
It's on this morning. It was on this morning. Now, I slept in a little bit yesterday, so I don't know what it was. By the time I did go outside at around 9, it was off. I walked out to my car 5:25 this morning. Jingle bells. And it's not like jingle bells. It's one particular passage from Jingle.
So it's just
jingle
repeat.
bells, jingle all the way. Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Oh, no, that's illegal. You can't
It's
do
just
that. Because
the-
if you're going to do it, I need the full, give me the whole thing.
It's 10 seconds
That's not
of
good.
the chorus,
Yeah.
and then it repeats itself all over again.
Yeah. Okay, I got one here. Vinny in SoCal. How many wreaths are hung up at your house at the moment? For those who don't know,
Oh, my gosh.
Susan, Travis's wonderful wife, she gets very excited
She's a very
about...
festive person.
Very festive. And we're not talking about just Christmas.
No.
We were there for the SC Notre Dame game, and it was around Halloween. And I went out of my way to compliment her because I'm like, this is amazing. I thought I was almost walking into like
And you
one of
remember what
those-
she told you.
Yeah.
She'd already taken half of it down.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, she was still. How many wreaths do you think you guys have?
2 on the front door. 1, 2. This is my best guess. I can, in my mind's eye, picture at least 6 right now. So I'll say there's probably 1 or 2 that I haven't recalled. I'd say 7 or 8.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Does she start decorating?
You know what the right number is? 1. 1's fine. Hang a wreath on your front door.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Cool. Everywhere?
Jorge, can you see her just kind of like go to the neighbor's house because she has so much addition? She just starts decorating their house on the outside?
I got real quick. If that question had been how many different Santa Clauses are in my house, and hand to God.
Don't tell me more than 10.
Over 100.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Over 100. You know what I'll do? I'll make Emily, I think I sent you a video of this at one point.
Yeah, last year I think you
about?
sent it to everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean more than 100?
More than 100. There, you can't. We have a 6-foot Santa Claus at the top of the stairs now.
Let me tell you something.
It's terrifying.
Listen to me.
You get up in the middle of the night to go take go to the bathroom. It's like there's this 6-foot figure in the hallway. It scares me every time.
Target doesn't have 100 Santas.
I will send you a video tonight. I will walk through. I will narrate. We will count them together. It's at least 100.
All right, we got some on the phone here.
Let's do it.
Anthony in Ontario. Anthony, appreciate you calling in. Ask Trav. You got Trav. What do you got?
Yeah, so if you had to choose one vehicle to drive for the rest of your life, what would it be, and take passengers out of the equation? Thanks.
So if my kids ask me this question. They're thinking Lamborghini and all these things. You know what I would have if money were not an object?
Yep.
And the fuel and things like this were not an object. You're not far off. I would want the most tricked out Chevy Suburban or Cadillac Escalade that you could find.
That's good.
Just
spinners.
Just I'm not really a spinner guy, Jorge.
Yesterday we all
Today
we were talking about that.
Yeah. And a small one, maybe in the third row, right? I love those big trucks.
Those are beautiful cars.
You sit up
Beautiful
high.
cars.
I'm a bigger guy. I like to spread out. I don't like to have I like that big island in the middle between the 2 front seats. I like to have all that. I love a big Suburban and Escalade. That would be my first choice.
Yeah.
That it?
Yeah, that's it.
Let's do it again.
We have more. We'll sprinkle
Oh, yeah,
them in.
we'll sprinkle them in. By the way, a couple of
I
people
don't want it to be over. I want to do 3 more, or I'm not going to bed.
He's going to lose his voice again. Surprised Greg didn't just bust in here.
That's easy.
And there, a couple people want to know how close of friends you were to the friend that you were loaning the money, so we could do that coming up next
Why
as well.
am I crazy? I'm being gaslit that I'm acting crazy
You're not
about
being
this.
gaslit. No,
Okay,
no,
guys?
you're not
if
being
you're
gaslit.
at dinner, you're going to match whatever that person is if they're spotting you. Just letting you know.
We will not be bringing that up at 11 a.m. We'll be moving forward.
The in-season tournament is over, and
Yeah.
the Lakers decided, we don't give a damn anymore. That's coming up next.
Hang
It's
another
Travis
banner.
and Slee, 710 ESPN.
Happy birthday to the queen that has hypnotized me, that I spend so much money on, that I love so dearly. Happy 34th birthday to Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift in the house.
And if you're counting the mentions, I mentioned once in pre-show, and I'm mentioning it right now. Okay, guys? So we got two
You didn't
today.
get into the third hour, though, before were you just like holding in a sneeze? It had to come out at some point?
Yeah, I wanted to give her a shout out. Happy birthday, Taylor
How
Swift.
old did you say?
34.
I think she's been pretty successful before
She's
she's
done all right.
turned 35. You think she'll be under those?
Okay.
You know how they have like 40 under 40.
Yeah,
I think she made it. I think she's gonna. She'll be okay on that
She was
list.
the most Googled person in the world. Google released yesterday.
Damn.
Travis was 5th. So it's probably people
was?
that. Yeah.
Congrats, bro.
Exactly. Travis Rogers
My
was
man.
5th on Google.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I was hoping to make the top 3, but 5's not bad.
Most Google top 5.
It is funny because my first name is not terribly common. It's not uncommon either.
It's not like
but
a Travis every day in your life.
it's not Mike, John, Bill. It's not one of those.
Emily, Alan.
Right? It's so when I hear it, my first inclination is to kind of perk up because you don't hear it all until the last couple of months, and you hear it nonstop.
Yeah, all the
you
time.
hear it nonstop, and
Yeah.
it's never about me or Travis.
So
Tritt.
what do they do just because, clearly the Chiefs are in a free fall since all this went down.
Yep.
So is Travis Kelce now is he kind of like the selfish player in that locker room that is not doing something to help to get the
his
team
Instagram
on
followers,
track?
cares about his jersey sales. He's number 1 in the UK or whatever.
What is he, 2-2 now?
Yeah, it's 2-2 with Taylor in attendance. What I think needs to
I
happen.
mean, if we're just talking facts here, numbers are numbers.
I think Taylor needs to step in as the offensive coordinator. I think she needs to get stuff done because she does, and get Matt Nagy out of there. And I think Taylor needs to take over play calling abilities.
I'm just saying, not a good look.
I
Not a good
really
look on
look
her
forward to
34th
the
birthday.
inevitable, and we can move on from this.
Cratering of that, yeah.
I just, because look, maybe they live happily ever after.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I'm dubious.
I also feel like it's relatively moved on. It's not every second of every Chiefs game.
The way that they cover it
Yeah.
has gotten much better.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
way, but it's still, look, this is
It's a
me.
power couple.
This is me, and I know that obviously I'm probably in the minority because the people that direct these TV shows know what they're doing, right? I don't care if she's there or not.
Yeah.
If she's there, great. If she's not,
Yeah.
also fine. But I'm completely and utterly just
For me,
beyond it.
just to play you the other side, I don't watch the game unless she's there.
You want her to show up to
Taylor
if
Cam.
she's not
Bears,
on that
Vikings.
camera, why am I watching? I'm
I-
not trying to watch the game.
I think the best solution would be that you don't really put it on the network broadcast, but you put it on social media, and then the people that like Taylor Swift can like Taylor Swift and can to be on that. I think that's the best solution for everybody, and I think that's more where it's going now.
I think you go split screen.
I honestly
I think
don't-
if you can't see, I don't need to see the defense. I don't need to see I want Taylor Swift on one side,
just an
and then I want
ISO
the
on her
offense.
and an ISO on Kelsey. That's it. Just
Yeah.
two tight shots of the two of them
There is
doing whatever
one-
they're doing.
Go,
We're
Jorge.
gonna do it. Let's do it right.
No, I'm just saying, like, it reminded, like, the first time she was there at the game, it reminded me of that 30 for 30, the catch in hell. The
Bartman?
Yeah, how they would cut to him for no reason.
Yeah.
Every, 2 seconds.
Poor
I'm
guy.
like, why are we going to Taylor Swift every 2 seconds?
Yeah.
She hasn't done anything.
Should I ask the question that I really want to ask, but I'm afraid it's going to start something?
Okay, I'm just gonna tell you, if you ask it and it doesn't go well, I have nothing to do with it.
Okay.
If it goes well, I will follow up with a question as well.
Okay. Go ahead.
You are a fan of her because you love her music.
Yep.
Yes. What do you care what she's doing when she's not performing? Why does I don't understand. Like, for me, I love Ohtani.
Tone it down.
Yeah.
Right? Like
I don't like your delivery
when
already.
Ohtani is not on the field,
Yeah.
I don't care what he's doing.
And you're not a huge music person, but who's your favorite musician?
Dave Grohl.
Sure. So you don't care about Dave Grohl. You didn't read his book. You didn't yeah. So for me, I think why I care about what Taylor Swift does outside of writing her music is because her music is so deeply personal and it's based on songwriting. And it helps me enhance what her songs mean to me if I kind of know what's been going on in her life at the time. So, for example, there's an album called Folklore, which is written during the pandemic, and a lot about how she felt about the world was influenced also by how she was presenting herself to the world. So for me, it's an added level of interest in her songwriting, what is happening in her life. So that's why I care.
It's a good answer.
And music is probably the one, like athlete is different than music. Music does kind of hit people's soul, touch it. Like,
because it's songwriting.
Music has an element. There's a lot of artists that I love. I'm not hanging on the words, right? Like I'm not personally,
you care about the production.
But there are a lot of people who do hang on the words.
But like if this were something like her going to a Chiefs game, is that going to influence her songwriting?
I don't really care about as much, but I just like that she seems happy. And I like seeing photos.
Is her happy music better than her sad music?
It depends on what you're in the mood for. Sometimes I want sad, and sometimes I want happy.
Her next song is the Offsides Call.
Saying
why the NFL referees are awful by Taylor Swift.
That's good.
One more small thing. There's things going around that Travis Kelce, was planning this big elaborate birthday dinner for Taylor Swift in Kansas City tonight. But I want to see that they went to the Cheesecake Factory or that they went to the Rainforest Cafe because Travis Kelce is a guy who loves a chain restaurant.
If that's what he did, then that's genuinely funny. But
I don't think it's going to be that.
I know you don't care, and I will not bring it up.
No.
So.
I just, and I'm not. This is not an Emily thing. This is a world thing that I don't understand. If you like the music, cool, listen to the music. But where she goes to dinner for her birthday.
Do you care about where anybody goes besides your family members? Kind of your friends or people you care about.
People that I know and that I care about and that I have a connection with. That's beyond something that I just consume.
Saca la bolsita, bro.
By the way, I haven't had a Saca la bolsita in a couple of weeks. We need to.
All right.
I didn't get invited when you guys went.
There was no excuse.
Apologies.
Look, I am hyper aware. Right, I take down all the little details of all of my days, and I form opinions.
Just like Taylor Swift.
maybe I should start
Happy
paying
birthday,
more
Taylor
attention.
Swift.
Happy birthday to Taylor Swift. I do like that the Lakers won the in-season tournament.
Yep.
I'm kind of indifferent on the fact that they're hanging a banner. If they want to hang it, great. I think they're probably doing it as a you got it NBA.
Still shouldn't do it, but okay.
That's fine. Look, if they said we're not doing it, I wouldn't be like, put it.
Yeah,
whatever.
It's a
right?
7-game tournament.
But clearly they cared. Clearly they put their best foot forward in those 7 games. Clearly, especially in the 2 games in Las Vegas, they put on a show.
Yeah, they did.
Anthony Davis in particular put on a show. It was awesome. And then there was last night where they basically said, we're good. We just won the in-season tournament. We're taking the night off because Dallas was missing Kyrie. They were missing Maxi Kleber, Josh Green, Derek Jones, and Seth Curry didn't play in the second half. And the Mavs were on the second part of a back-to-back where Luka had played 44 minutes in game 1, and the Lakers still lost. It was weird.
Listen, it was weird, and I didn't find myself – I kind of found myself really irritated last night. And, look, Lakers lose a game in the regular season. It's all good. It's not that big of a deal. They went 7-0 in in-season tournament play. You got the group games,
right,
and then the quarterfinals, semis, and the finals. So 7-0. They're 7-10 in non-in-season tournament games. Which I'm like, okay, wait, they cared. It was that big of a deal, or maybe they know, Trav, that they now have the ability. We could switch that light on whenever we want. But the game against the Mavs, I think what irritated me yesterday is I've kind of gone out of my way over these last couple weeks to talk about. I think they're turning a quarter. They got their players back, starting to play some defense. Looks like guys are starting to click. They can, instead of a player that has to do something that is not in their – Reeves doesn't have to go 28 or 26-6. No, Reeves come off the bench, do your thing. Like everybody kind of can start doing their thing. Open up the
Putting
game.
him on the bench helped a lot.
100%.
Yeah.
Open up the game yesterday. Down by 8 in the first quarter, down by 10 in the first. Welcome back, right? Make their run in the third quarter.
Of course.
Okay, of course they're going to make their run. And then fourth quarter, I know for those that want to make an excuse and say, well, Dante Exum hit 7 threes. Cool. Lakers didn't change anything. He just kind of kept doing his thing. They were missing the players that you were talking about. They gave up 127 points to a team that has 5 role players out. Tim Hardaway Jr. is dropping 32 on your ass. There was a little like, okay, so you're just going to kind of turn it on when you feel like it. You got 2 games this week left. You got the Spurs who have lost 17 in a row.
Is that good?
It's a whole
Better than the
different
Pistons.
conversation. Right, and the Pistons saying, hold my beer.
Right.
But there's a little bit of, like, you want to see from the Lakers of, hey, that's really good look at the streak that they're on. Look what they're doing right now. Hey, go look at the NBA standings. Lakers top 3, some of this. I know it's early on, but that game was very irritating yesterday. I really didn't understand it.
There's a silver lining because clearly when they want to play, they're pretty good. Like you said, they're 7-0 in the games that, air quote, mattered. If you're just if they were as invested in the IST as it appears that they were, every time they cared, they won. Now, the other stuff, it's bad habits.
Can
it's
I just say something about the in-season that people, I think, should understand? Their group that they were in was Memphis,
is weak,
Portland, Utah, and Phoenix.
Yeah.
So it's not like they were beating these juggernauts to get there. To get to the semis, they beat the Phoenix Suns. Give them that.
Yep.
They had New Orleans and Indiana.
Yep.
There's not a team in there that I talked about other than the Phoenix Suns that you would say are top 10 in the NBA.
I agree.
So there's a little bit of also that I think comes into play.
100%. But it's not just that they won out, and especially in the quarter, semis, and finals, they looked good.
Took teams out.
It wasn't just that we won, advanced to the next one. They went out there and kicked people's butts.
Yeah.
It looked really good. LeBron and AD looked really good. Like to your point, they're getting some of their guys back. So when you do get into a playoff situation, knowing that that's in there, I think is the silver lining to all of this. The rest of it, the rest of the dark cloud is, guys, you can't go up and down based on your level of enthusiasm on any given night because it's you're going to get caught.
Mm-hmm.
Now, last night could have been, whether metaphorical or literal, the hangover game, right? It just, we won this thing. Everybody won $500,000. Let's go have a good time and
like
see what happens.
Letdown.
Right. The letdown, again, they still got, what do they have, another 50 some odd games? Right. There's a long way to go.
Game 25 tonight, I think.
They probably won't play another game with super high intensity for a while. I know there are good games against good teams.
Celtics maybe.
Celtics, Bucks,
Minnesota coming up.
Sure.
Yep.
But they're few and far between.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing it's in there is important, but I wouldn't mind seeing some better habits, just some more consistency. And I think we'll get it now that this thing is going to be in the rearview mirror by a pretty good distance in a week or two, and whatever the afterglow of the in-season tournament is will have completely gone away. We'll have a better idea what they are night in and night out.
Still tough to kind of comprehend because I didn't put too much value in the in-season tournament. It was cool. It was kind of different, all that stuff. But we're going to really crank it up for a 7-game tournament that even the finals game doesn't even count towards your standings.
Right.
The stats don't go towards that. The AD 41-20 does not count towards his regular season stats.
But it counts towards your psyche, right?
Could.
No,
I
counts to, and again, it was Indiana, so take it for
and
what
it helps
it's
a
worth.
team like the Pacers that
counts
towards their psyche
for
of
sure.
how they
Indiana's
got there.
a team that can score, and if you can play really great defense, and again, it's just the idea that AD can prove to himself that he can do it.
That's it. That this game, air quote, matters. This is an important game, and he showed up.
Doesn't he already know that?
Yeah, probably, but it's AD gets dissected probably more than anybody not named LeBron James, right?
Yeah.
So stacking a few more good ones next to the few clunkers, I think is useful. Because if it's about 50-50, it's like, I don't know what I'm going to get. But if it's 70-30 in the right direction, you can feel, and I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about him.
Yep.
That I usually play well in these situations. That's good for your mental well-being.
See that pass Luka made in the middle of the game?
I didn't, but you were telling me about it.
That dude is just, he has 17 dimes yesterday. He's playing with nobody around him. Just incredible.
It's the headband.
There is.
You're not a fan, are you?
The headband looked as bad on Luka.
Does anybody look good with a headband?
I think some people look good with the headband. Like LeBron, I think with a headband looks fine. I don't think that's a bad idea. I think Zach Wilson looks fine with the headband.
Very strategic.
But yeah, I think headbands can work for certain people. It does not work for Luka to me.
Was it Derek White last year for the Celtics? Bro, his hairline was so bad. And then once inside the NBA and TNT just went in on him, shaved the whole thing. I'm like, best thing you could have done. Best thing you could have done.
When you're a headband, when you're trying to, like if you're completely bald, headband, fine.
All good.
But if you're trying to, like if I went headband for the show, We all know what I'm trying to do.
Not a bad idea, by the way, just to kind of throw a headband out there randomly.
To try to take up this 6 inches of real estate right here, and so nobody notices.
It's not even just a regular. It's a thick one that goes from your eyebrows to your forehead.
Idea. I know last time that we had a combo plate where we had a shortened show that you dressed up, you were in a nice suit. I think we should all have some sort of identifying factor. So maybe if one of us wore a headband, or it was a headband day for all of us.
There you go.
Just idea for the back of the mind.
I like that. The Rams, very much alive, but the playoffs basically start on Sunday. I'll explain. It's next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
The 12 Days of 710. Hi, this is Michelle Smallman, host of the new ESPN radio morning show Unsportsmanlike. Heard weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on 710. It's that time of year, time for the season of winning on 710. Just listen for me to give you the cue to call. When you hear it, be caller number 7 at 877-710-ESPN, and you get to pick a holiday gift box in the 710 studio. Will it be the Travis box, the Sliwa box, Mason, Ireland, the Sedano box, or Cappy? Each box could have a fabulous prize for you to.
Hey guys, it's producer Lindsay Baseball, and guess what? Thursday Night Football has a brand new home, and it's the 909 Sports Bar at Yamava Resort and Casino. Join me and the 710 Fun Games Department every Thursday night for a party. I will be giving away $1,000 cash every Thursday night. So, this Thursday from 4 to 7 at the 909 Sports Bar, win cash and watch football with me, producer Lindsay Baseball. Or maybe they should call me Lindsay Football.
Big news, Laker fans. John Ireland here. You can now stream every Lakers game on the ESPN LA app. Don't miss a second of the action with Michael Thompson and I on the call. Plus, all your live and local Lakers talk every day in the palm of your hand.
You're one tap away from everything Lakers.
You could even win Lakers tickets.
Download the ESPN LA app. And bam!
Download the ESPN LA app at the App Store and Google Play.
You teased Rams, but it got me thinking. I've been in a fantasy football group for the first time ever. I've been in fantasy football this season.
Did you make the playoffs?
Yes, I did.
All right, good.
I had 9-5 record, so I did pretty well. So anyway, we were talking about the DeVitos because a couple of my friends in the group are big Giants fans, and so they found his website, which is SeanStellato.com. The name of his .com, and there's a merch shop on it. Okay,
awesome.
So you could get merch. There's hats that say 1994 and NBD, which stands for no backing down. So that's how my motto for the rest of my life: no backing down. I already do that. But you get shirts, you get socks. But number one thing I think is this no backing down second edition book. Okay, so
second edition.
Yeah, second edition.
All right.
My friends and I are going to buy the
more
book.
To add, Slee.
And do a book club and just try to channel Sean Stellato. I don't know him, but I'm gonna channel him, read No Backing Down, and so I don't back down ever again.
I love it. I think it's a great idea. That guy on Monday Night Football was amazing.
He was the show.
It was like, okay, I don't want to say it was like.
He's from Central Casting.
He had to have been doing it on purpose. Because you're right, it was the suit, the mannerisms,
100%.
Everything about it was, oh, come on, man.
No, it was a marketing ploy. 100%.
It was, but it was a damn good one. Even though you knew it was a bit of a performance, and usually I'm not a huge fan of that, the guy nailed it. Like he's kissing the dad. It's just everything about it was amazing. I'm a huge
the network,
fan of that guy.
Obviously ESPN was jumping into it and saying, yeah, more of that during the game. So they're going there. It's almost like they're
Everybody
following
loves
in.
that.
What'd you guys think of double Monday nights?
I think it would have been better if it's staggered because both games
it's
were
not
great.
good.
They couldn't obviously
Not
anticipate
good.
how they both ended, but I think they should have staggered them.
That's the only thing. Start one game and then time it to where, okay, around halftime, that's when we're going to start the other game.
You want that much of a stagger? Well, but back when they first started,
no less than 1 hour.
Yeah.
Like you got to just give us a little bit of space here, a little bit of space to do the same at the same time. I mean, I'm still going to watch the Pelicans versus the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
But I think it's better. You got to just give them a little space.
I didn't mind it at all.
I wanted to
surprised.
see
I thought-
both games.
I get that, and they got two incredible finishes for sure. But it's nice being able to flip back. And maybe it's because I didn't. The only one I had a rooting interest in was the Packers and the Giants, because the Giants winning that game was really good news for the Rams.
Big time.
But it's fun to have more football. I'm telling you. I know I've been saying this for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
We are not far away from having football every night of the week. It is coming.
Okay, can I give a suggestion? NFL Sundays. You got the games that start at 10. You got the games that start at 1, give or take 20 minutes or whatever. It's 25 minutes. Because we all want the games, we want them consumed as much as we do. Can we get games that start at 1 and then one game that starts at 2 o'clock? Just give me – because there are going to be consumers that are there that are saying, if you go till 5 –
Yeah, but they already – but on Sunday they already have you nailed. They got you from 10 a.m. until 9 o'clock at night.
But there's a little break.
Not really. Those 10 a.m. games go right up to the 1 o'clock games. The 1 o'clock games start. Then there's 125. There's usually two 125s that go right up till
And
the
the other one
Sunday
goes,
night
what,
kickoff.
5:30
You
Sunday night?
might have like 40 minutes where
That's all
there's
I
no
want.
game
That's
on,
all-
but then you
can I
watch
get
the
40?
pregame show.
They've got you Sunday.
Not
They don't
watching the
need to
pregame.
cover a 40-minute window
But
on Sunday.
but all the games are on. And I'm saying, like, it doesn't. It's
That's why
not
they're-
hurting anybody.
No, but that's why they're not going to put it to they're going to cover Sunday. Then they already got Monday. They already got Thursday. They got
I don't-
Saturday starting this weekend.
I don't disagree with you that having another day of football, nobody's against that. It's just
The silver
they do it.
Silver lining may be the wrong word. The interesting part of the pandemic relative to the NFL, we can play on Tuesdays and
I know.
Wednesdays. It works.
They played Tuesday. What was the Rams game? The game was Tuesday.
It was Tuesday night football.
Okay, well, they had a game before that because there was two games that they play on that day. It might have been even a Steelers game.
It was
from
the
what I
Steelers game.
remember.
They played at like 11 o'clock in the morning.
You know what I did when I was
Yeah.
on the show? I went home and watched the game.
Of course you did. There is no game we won't watch.
Yeah.
No matter how bad these Thursday night games are, we turn them on and we watch them. I do. And that's what I mean. So we got
Now, if
Thursday.
the Raptors were playing.
You got Thursdays, Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays. There's only throw one game on Tuesday, throw one game on Friday night. Why not? They're good. We've already seen games on Fridays and Tuesdays. Wednesday would be the one day that might be a little tricky to get to, but with buys and everything else, it's gonna happen.
I've been waiting all day for Tuesday night.
I'm going to read
Wednesday
you.
night.
I'm going to
I'd
shift
watch.
here just because I think this is big news. I'm going to read you a tweet. Just came out here. Fabian Ardaya, who is part of the Fabian's the Athletic, right?
I think so.
Okay, yeah, he is the Athletic. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, his meeting with the Dodgers yesterday at Dodger Stadium featured Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Shohei Ohtani. Sources tell Fabian and Ken Rosenthal. My brother, I don't know what's going to happen here moving forward. But somebody want to explain to me how anyone is going to compete with what's probably going to happen here. You and I were talking a little bit about it during our prep, that it's not too often that a player says, listen, I just made my move. Now I'm going to sit back in that CEO chair in that corner office on the 52nd floor, and I'm going to look at you guys who are running this organization and say, I did my part. Go do your part now. And the fact that you already got these guys, and I'm talking about Mookie, Freddie, Shohei saying,
go get Yamamoto.
What time's the meeting?
Yeah.
No, not go get him. We're coming in for the pitch as well. I don't know what's more powerful than that, but I think the move that Shohei made is, A, picking the Dodgers, and B, here's the flexibility.
Yeah.
Don't screw this up.
I think that's
interesting.
It is, because I'm just guessing here, but it fits, which is, hey, I will defer virtually all of my money.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes, he's playing for free for 10 years, and he's going to live off of his $70 million a year in endorsements that he makes.
He has Social Security coming in.
But he's basically saying the payroll, the AAV that's going to get applied to this deal is coming in at about $40 million. Okay? So you can still go get basically whoever you want.
Anybody.
And if I'm coming here, I need you to give me your word that you're going to do everything. You can't miss on guys because you're like, oh, we just can't get there financially. I'm giving you the ability to get there financially.
And it's not even I don't want to say they don't have an option, but if Yamamoto decided, guys, look, this was an unbelievable pitch. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys are willing to go up to $300 million. I'm throwing out numbers that they were talking about.
Yeah.
But I want to go play for the New York Mets. Example, right?
Yep.
Can't do anything about that. What I think Shohei is making sure is you're not stopping it. If it takes 300 to bring him, and we think that's the player that should come, and that's the difference for the Dodgers, and next year you bring out a Dodgers lineup that has Shohei Ohtani as your ace and Yamamoto as your second pitcher, I'm just using that as an example, and put the bats to the side for a quick second, the move Shohei made in this move of chess is, I've put you guys in the best position possible. Go make it happen.
I'm not trying to slow play any of this.
Yeah.
That the Dodgers have rigged the game as best as they can. That prior to Shohei, the Dodgers were kind of on the 10-yard line to start the season to score the World Series touchdown, right? And they couldn't get those last 10 yards in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Now they've moved it to like the 2 with Ohtani. And we'll see what it looks like. If you added Yamamoto, they move it to like the half-yard line, right? So there's never a sure thing, but they're getting as close to it as you possibly can. Because here's the thing. Injury is the great wild card. You never know who's going to be available by the time you get there.
For every team.
For every team, sure. And then with the Dodgers in particular, the pucker factor is off the charts of late. Maybe Ohtani doesn't care. Maybe Yamamoto doesn't care if the Glasnow deal that we're hearing about, that could get done sooner than later. Maybe he doesn't care. You know, he's pitched in a ton of big games in his life too. At some point, somebody's just going to be really good at the right time, and I think it kind of unlocks everybody else. You just need somebody to be good right away, and maybe it's Ohtani. Maybe Yamamoto goes out there and throws a 2-hit shutout to open the play. You're like, oh, it's on. And then once they get unlocked a little bit, forget it. Because right now, the only thing that's keeping them back is the pucker factor. And if you can get through that, I don't know, man. Nobody's going to win 10 World Series in a row. That doesn't happen in baseball.
Yeah.
But if you could win 3 or 4 over a 10-year window, that's an extraordinary accomplishment. And that's what they've put themselves in a position to do.
I think some teams should take the year off. Take 1 year off. Just prepare for 2025.
Relegation. Go down to the Pacific Coast League.
Yeah, just take some time off.
Elevate the Las Vegas 51.
I wonder if Ohtani said anything about Outman screwing up this whole thing.
Factor Caps coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. I didn't even get to talk about my guys at Rotolo Chevrolet the last couple of days. It feels good to be able to tell you to go out to Rotolo Chevrolet in Fontana, right off the 210 freeway, Sierra Avenue exit. I was talking with my guy, Eddie, out at Rotolo. We were talking a little bit about the player that the Dodgers just signed and how excited he is. And this is just the sort of guys that they are, right? They love to talk. They love to just be a part of the community, to see what's going on out there, and it shows in what they do. It's why you win Dealer of the Year 13 years in a row, because they want people to get a great deal. They want you to get that Silverado that you've had your eyes on at the right price and feel great about it. And that's what they do year after year after year. Transparent, courteous, upfront. You're going to feel good about your purchase at Rotolo Chevrolet. So if you're looking for that new Silverado or any Chevy car or truck, go on out to Rotolo Chevrolet, right off the 210 freeway, Sierra Avenue exit, right there in Fontana. And if you can't get out to the store, go online, rotolochevy.com, R-O-T-O-L-O, rotolochevy.com, and tell them that Travis sent you.
Elevate your game at Hollywood Park Casino. Join Travis Rogers and Kirk Morrison this Sunday for their live Rams postgame show from the Rays Lounge at Hollywood Park Casino. Win prizes and interact with Travis and Kirk. Hollywood Park Casino is Los Angeles' premier card room casino and entertainment destination. Reminder, party, oh party, Sunday after the game. Come see Travis and Kirk and enjoy a postgame meal and drink at the Rays Lounge right after Rams football is done. Hollywood Park Casino. Eat, drink, play.
The 12 Days of 710. Hi, this is Michelle Smallman, host of the new ESPN radio morning show Unsportsmanlike. Heard weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on 710. It's that time of year, time for the season of winning on 710. Just listen for me to give you the cue to call. When you hear it, be caller number 7 at 877-710-ESPN, and you get to pick a holiday gift box in the 710 studio. Will it be the Travis box, the Sliwa box, Mason, Ireland, the Sedano box, or Cappy? Each box could have a fabulous prize for you to win.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets? Yes. We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the 5th row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free!
Back. First of all, it's not a cap. It's
No, it
just
is a cap.
Welcome to Factor Cap.
Hey guys, there must be something going around in the sickness universe. I don't know if it's COVID or not, but what was funny, I usually have therapy on Tuesdays, and usually I do a video chat with my therapist, and she was like, can we do it over the phone? And I was like, this just feels weird. Like having a phone chat with my therapist, like literally on the phone, like a phone call, just feels a little like I'm calling my friend.
Less intimate, right?
Yeah, it was a little off. So everybody stay safe, be hand wash. Try not to get sick.
Take as many steroids as the doctor will give you. That's my recommendation.
I'm going to do
everybody.
the radio show over the phone on speaker tomorrow.
Buffer sleeve?
Big time. Did you do a couple curls
Your
with the
neck
help
looks
of your
thicker.
family?
The whole thing is like the steroid neck. You can just tell it right away. So Netflix released their top movie and their top TV show of the past year, okay? And this is like a Netflix original. So it's not like Suits. I don't think Suits could count for this.
Seinfeld, right?
Right, yeah, exactly. So it has to be something that was created by Netflix. So the number one movie was The Mother, starring Jennifer Lopez. It was a streaming service's top movie, topped out at 249.9 million hours watched. Okay, but that's only the 14th most viewed content. Okay, the most viewed piece of content that was released by Netflix was the thriller The Night Agent, which was the number one spot. It had 112 million hours, which is an equivalent of nearly 100,000 years. So Night Agent, #1 TV show.
Yeah.
The Mother, #1 movie. You know someone who has watched either of these things. Travis, fact or cap?
Fact. I've never even heard of the Jennifer Lopez movie, which is a huge fail on my part because I feel like I should be fully involved with all Jennifer Lopez projects. Huge fan. But the my oldest son, Bobby, watches The Night Agent, and I watched an episode or two. It's not bad. It's your classic political espionage, who's a good guy, who's a bad guy, double cross kind of show like that.
100,000 years worth of good?
I mean, I don't think it's one person watching all of this, but it was okay. I didn't put it this way. I was able to get through an episode and it held my attention, which very few things can say right now. It was all right.
Al?
It can't be more cap. I've never heard of any of these. And the fact that, we've all kind of Game of Thrones when that was going on. I didn't watch
Succession.
Game of Thrones. I didn't watch Game of Thrones.
But you knew about it.
But of course I knew about it. It's impossible. Breaking Bad. Think of whatever it is that kind of got all of our attention, and you knew about it whether you watched it or not. If you would have told me The Night Agent was a cartoon, I'd believe you.
It's not BoJack Horseman.
If you'd have told me The Night Agent was a comic from the 50s, I'd have believed you. I have no idea.
That's like a noir detective thing from the 50s.
I have no idea. I've not heard of either one of these. And DeAndre, the way you were looking at me, I don't think you have either.
Yeah, DeAndre?
I have not. I have not heard any of these.
Nothing.
Cap?
Cap. Cap.
All right, cap from both the board ops today. All right, so speaking of board ops, my friends are planning a board game event on Monday. I'm not necessarily the biggest board game person. I'm not the least board game person, but I don't usually seek it out. I don't usually seek it out, board games. I just don't like the rules. I'd rather just play a drinking game. I don't know. So, you are a board game person. Alan, fact or cap?
Fact, but I'm specific on one. One of the funnest board games growing up, playing even with friends, everything else, Monopoly. Monopoly is one of the funnest board games that I ever played.
Too long, man.
It's all about finances. I don't care.
If you told me tomorrow, or not even tomorrow, when the show ends, hey, you guys want to play Monopoly? Yeah, I'm in.
Do you want to be the race car or the thimble?
I like the race car. I like the race car.
Right.
Monopoly's a fun game, and you're right, DeAndre. It takes forever, but it's a fun game. I go yes on board
All right,
games.
Chad, what about you?
Fact. I'm a board game person. I'll play, and it really doesn't matter what the game is to me. It's more about the camaraderie of playing the game. I've never really done it with a group of friends, really, or at least in a very long time. But playing with my kids or playing with my mom and dad and Susan and I will play Hearts when we get together, right? The holidays and things like that.
Yeah.
I know it's not a board game, but a card. It's not that. I mean, I like playing Hearts. I'm pretty good at it. I will beat all of you if we sit down and play.
Never played.
But it's much more about the have a glass of wine, catch up with people that you care about. That's the part I like.
Jorge?
Fact. We play Mexican ones like Loteria or Serpientes Escaladas. That's like
Uno.
Chutes and Ladders. Uno's another one, even though it's not a Mexican one. But yeah. But I'm teaching Maite how to play some of these games too. We have Operation.
Operation's fun.
She's scared of the clown still, but it's kind of getting there. But no, I enjoy it. My favorite one growing up was Battleship. Remember?
Oh, that's
Battleship
fun.
was great.
Guess where your ship was?
Stressful as hell.
Honestly,
Let me ask you something. Do you cheat?
No. No.
I don't cheat either, but I like to put all of my battleships in one area. So you're like
Throw them off a little.
Oh my gosh, there's no anywhere. Yeah. So
But once they find the clump, you're dead meat.
Yep.
A lot of people got, but I know Risk was a
Risk
big
is
one.
super fun.
Yep.
Now,
Yeah, Risk is
Risk
another big
makes
one.
Monopoly look like a solitaire game on your phone. Risk could take 3 weeks to finish a game.
Right. So I'm more of a person. I like to be at a board game event, but I'll like drink and I'll chat, but I don't like to get invested in it because then I think I get too competitive. That's
No,
kind of where
not
I
you.
get. Yeah,
I would
not
never.
me, of course.
That makes no
not.
sense.
Guess who? Another one?
Oh yeah, guess who's
Guess
fun.
Who's fun.
Oh, is that the one where you tap the tiles?
Yeah.
Oh, that is
Yep.
a good one. I
They
like
also
that.
one.
they've made guess, but people on TikTok make Guess Who, but it's for celebrities and stuff, and they'll do fun things. So that's a fun game as well. I wouldn't necessarily call it a board game, but it's a game.
Yeah.
All right. So Al Michaels was told that he would not be a part of NBC's playoff broadcasts. It was a shock to him.
Yeah.
And he will continue obviously to do the Amazon broadcast for the rest of the year. So they don't have a playoff game, do they? The Amazon?
I don't believe they do. Peacock does.
So essentially, Al Michaels will not be calling any postseason games for the NFL. So my statement is, you care about who is the voice of a playoff game. Jorge, fact or cap?
Cap, because sometimes I'm watching these games at a bar and there's no sound. You're just there for the, just for the crowd. You care more about the crowd more than who's announcing the game at that point when you're at a bar. So cap for me.
DeAndre?
Fact.
I'm gonna go with fact, man. Sometimes I watch with my family. We have the audio on and stuff like that. So I want to the commentary is very big to me because I feel like when they bring a point of emphasis to the game and they make a highlight play or something like that, and the call when it's really good, I feel like it's big and it's important. Trev?
I think it's fact. I care a lot. Now, if somebody's bad, it doesn't drive me away from the game. Like if you get one of those, team D teams on your team, it's not great, but it's like, I'm not going to watch this. But there's something about big events where the best guys show up. If Al Michaels is there, it's a big deal. Al Michaels is calling the game. If Joe Buck is there, it's a big deal.
The gravitas.
The Kevin Harlan's calling your NBA game. That's a big game. These are big moments where Mike Breen is there. It's a big game, right? So I do care. I cannot wait to find out why Al is not on the playoffs because nobody's really saying anything at this point. And Al clearly was caught by surprise with this whole thing. I can't wait to find out what it was all about.
Al?
I thought when we started this conversation, I thought I was going to say cap, but I do find myself, I'll go fact on this. I find myself, it's more to do with if there's an announcer that I don't like or if there's a combo of people talking over each other that it does change the just how it either enhances it or it hurts it. So I think the broadcaster does matter. I'm not going to not watch a game because of it, but I think it's adding to something or it's taking something away.
My parents always complain, that person's rooting against the Steelers. And I'm like, they're not. They're
Everybody thinks the guy calling the game is rooting against your team.
Yeah, because when your team doesn't do well, then you want to make excuses.
But when I say it, I'm telling you.
It's true.
Yes, yeah. All right, so we talked about this story a little bit earlier. So my friend tried to Venmo me some money for paying for her parking pass, and it was like $4, so it wasn't bad. So then she Venmo'd someone else named Emily Heapel, and I do not know if she got that money back or not, but also it's $4, who cares? So, statement is, you would send back anything over $50 if it was sent to you by accident. So you get a ding from, Joe Schmo, and you didn't expect a ding, and it's $56, you send it back. Travis, fact or cap?
I think it's cap, and I would have answered differently if we would have done this an hour ago. You brought up a really good point. I would think it's a scam.
Fraud. Yeah.
I would think somebody's trying to, if I respond back to this, I've opened up because I don't understand that world well enough to know how vulnerable you are.
Click on this link and I'm like, sure.
Right. And you're telling me there isn't a way to, hey, I was trying, even if somebody did say, I was trying to Venmo my other friend, Emily Hebel, can you send me back that $4 or $56 or whatever it is? I'd be really, really worried. Now, if it were $1,000 and somebody said that, I might try to get in touch with somebody from Venmo and say, hey, listen, is this legit? And see what they say, service, right? Yeah. Something like that. But my first reaction would be, nah, this seems like a setup. They're trying to not just get their $56 back, they're trying to take advantage of me.
Al?
Cap, but it's not the $50 threshold. If somebody's sending money that I'm not supposed to be getting, I'm going to be sending it back. Now I got to do a little intel, because I've dealt with something on Venmo where somebody was trying to basically get into my account. Was successful, by the way. But anyways, long story short, I think it's any amount that I'm suspicious, but I'm trying to get them their money back.
I think moral of the story is definitely to double check, triple check before you send anything, especially, if you can scan a QR code, whatever.
You know what I was going
to say?
The
other moral of the story is also live on the edge a little. Just click that link.
Yeah.
You know where I was going?
Link.
What? Then don't have me pay for you?
No.
What?
Cash still has a purpose in the world.
Cash still has a purpose in the world.
Cash still is one of those. That's one of those. Hey man, I forgot my credit card. And it only thing.
Yeah.
Here's 40. We'll call it whatever it is. Right. Yeah. Cash still works.
Yeah.
This week, Monday, I went to a sandwich shop next to me. They also do coffee. I had cash, and they're like, "Sorry, we're not taking cash." And I didn't have my credit card with me. I'm like, for the love of
the Alamo they don't like to take cash, but they will if that's all you have.
Jorge? Legal tender for all debts, public and private.
That's right. And usually the other way around. Like, oh, we don't take cash. I'm like, wait, I only have my card now. So
Right.
The fruit ladies, they take Venmo, they take cash, they take
Zelle.
whatever, Zelle, anything.
You get us some money, we're taking
Exactly.
it. That's the way.
You
That's
want
that's
your
how it
watermelon?
should
There
be.
you go. You want your coco?
Delgadito.
There you go.
DeAndre and Jorge, what do you think about this statement? You would send back anything over 50?
I don't even know how Venmo works. So, I mean, it's.
Here, Venmo me 50.
I don't even have the app, to be honest with you.
Yeah, let me show you what this is all about.
You know, I'm more of cash or like a debit, Zelle.
Yeah.
That's the way.
Venmo, I will tell you, if you do,
yeah.
it's very convenient. It's very, very convenient.
Zelle is as convenient. It's essentially the same thing as just direct.
But then I heard on
bank.
Venmo, if you have your profile, it tells you what you can see what people spent on before, right? Is that right?
You can't see what the
you can make
number
yours
is.
private if you want.
You can make it
Like,
private, but you can't see what it was spent on. But you
yeah.
can see how how much it was. You can see what they spent it on.
Yeah, I'm sending that $50 back. That's it.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Put
trust him.
DeAndre on the list of guys that I might be able to scam if things go south.
Gullible.
For me here. Yeah, just DeAndre Hawkins. I need my $50 back. Hit me up at this account.
Who I can scam. And it's just in bold letters.
Long list.
Speaking of Venmo, you know what I saw at the freeway the other day? It was a woman who had just gotten divorced. And then in her car, you know how they put just married? She
Right.
put just divorced, and then they put a QR code of buy me a drink. And it's like
Have you guys ever sent money to one of those?
Hell no.
Yeah.
I haven't either, but I'm sympathetic towards that one. I'll get her a drink.
I see him like bachelorette party, all
Yeah.
those things. Like, yeah, good luck with that.
21st birthday.
Yeah, no. You should have saved your paper route money.
You should do one. Just got my voice back. See, maybe get some cash.
Yeah, I need more steroids. Send me $5 along the way. Rams playoffs start Sunday. That's next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
All right, don't miss the 2023 Subaru Share the Love event happening now through January 2nd. After this 16th year of sharing the love, Subaru will have donated over $285 million to charity. Visit my good friends over at Sierra Subaru Monrovia as they are proudly supporting Foothill Unity Center and the Pavlov Foundation during the Subaru Share the Love event. This quick little story here. Sierra Subaru Monrovia, I've got a chance to drive their cars, amazing cars. The brand is amazing. But let's look past that for a second. For this dealership and the Subaru brand in general, it's so important to be a part of the community. It's so important to give back. This time, obviously around the holidays, in the month of November, I was a part of a toy drive that they did. We've done other events around Father's Day. I just love that it's more than just selling cars. If you want some more information, go to sierrasubaru.com for more info or visit them just off the 210 and 605 freeway. That's sierrasubaru.com.
Hey guys, it's producer Lindsay Baseball, and guess what? Thursday Night Football has a brand new home, and it's the 909 Sports Bar at Yamava Resort and Casino. Join me and the 710 Fun and Games Department every Thursday night for a party. I will be giving away $1,000 cash every Thursday night. So, this Thursday from 4 to 7 at the 909 Sports Bar, win cash and watch football with me, producer Lindsay Baseball. Or maybe they should call me Lindsay Football. See you there.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets? Yes. We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the 5th row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free! Big news, Laker fans. John Ireland here. You can now stream every Lakers game on the ESPN LA app. Don't miss a second of the action with Michael Thompson and I on the call. Plus, all your live and local Lakers talk every day in the palm of your hand.
You're one tap away from everything Lakers.
You could even win Lakers tickets.
Download the ESPN LA app and bam!
Download the ESPN LA app at the App Store and Google Play.
Mr. Worldwide. Now everybody, todo el mundo.
Let's go, Pitbull.
Armando.
Laura's getting up somewhere.
It does kind of make you want to move a little bit.
It's a great song.
It does.
I asked Laura yesterday, pregame show. Laura was on the board for the pregame. And one of the promos ran of us saying, Jorge, you were talking about, right? Suavemente comes on. She starts moving her shoulders. I'm like, hey, is that a pretty accurate story? She's like, I hate him. Yes, it's accurate. Right when she said, I'm like, Laura, you do realize the way he painted the picture, I saw Laura sitting there, holding a drink and saying, I'm going
She
up
was
to the
red
dance
for
floor.
filth. It was great.
There are some songs that you don't want to like, but you just do.
Yeah.
And Armando's got a few of them.
And Pitbull. I remember going to that NASCAR race just to see Pitbull.
Yeah,
perform,
I remember.
and
That's
it was
right.
Worth it. It was worth it.
I was trying to think. It was Wiz Khalifa.
Pitbull and then Ice.
Ice Cube.
Yeah.
And wasn't Cypress Hill there last year too?
Yeah, Cypress Hill was there last year. Ice was there the very first year.
It was Ice Cube and
Pitbull.
Because Pitbull was wearing a leather jacket. It was 150 degrees.
amazing.
And that's crazy.
It was already
He's
part
Mr.
of his
Worldwide.
outfit.
And then last year was Cypress Hill and Wiz Khalifa, right? Do we know? Because I'm going back. I love that event.
That was pretty fun. DeAndre and I covered it for the first time.
Oh, that's right. We got to spend a few minutes ago. Did you guys like it as much?
I liked it.
I don't know anything about racing. Don't really care about racing in any meaningful way. That is a great event. I really look forward to it.
Plus, we got up close and very close to the cars to the point where we're sticking our hand inside the
Oh, that's sweet.
Jeez.
And then there was one team that was like, "Hey guys, can you guys just not
back up a little
bit?
bit?
Just back up a little because it's expensive." Like, oh, we get it.
Did you have the headphones or earplugs in?
No.
If I'm going back again, I have to do that because my ears got destroyed.
It's loud. It's really loud. Like when the track out in Fontana is currently under construction. They're rebuilding it. I've been out to a couple of races out there too, and the one in the Coliseum, the top speed is maybe 70 miles an hour. They don't get up to because the track's so small. It feels like it. And quite frankly, they have too many cars on the track, it feels like, because they keep smashing into each other and they keep having to stop the race. On the big tracks, I think the Fontana, it's either 2 or 2.5. They're getting up to over 200 miles an hour, and it's deafening. You could not do one of those races without the earplugs.
Did they
but
sell
it's a blast.
Did they sell the full turkey legs there?
In Fontana or at the Coliseum?
At the Coliseum.
No,
I don't remember seeing them.
Stuff, though, but I don't remember seeing that.
So Fontana, the one race that I went to, this is one that Jimmy Johnson won. This is when it was still
Granite Hills Eagles.
Still the Sprint Cup Series or whatever it was. And I went to one of them. I've never been. I had a cousin of mine that actually works in the industry that was really, really into it, so we went. I don't know what it was, but I'm like, everyone I felt like was walking around with those huge turkey legs.
Like Disneyland?
Yes. My second move after we found our seat is I'm going to go get a turkey leg. There
It's one
I
of
was,
those things that
Fontana.
spreads. You're like, oh, that looks good, and then I get it. I mean, it might not work for Travis, but it works for other people.
Oh, it's good.
I'm not saying it's not
really
good.
good.
I like because I like the
it was
dark
weird.
meat. The
I'm
leg
walking
is
around.
dark meat, so
Yeah.
I like that. But just gnawing on a turkey leg,
No, you're
watching a sporting event, or walking through Disneyland, taking down a turkey leg is just doesn't sync up for me. It's all of it.
My hope is that at Crypto here very soon, they start having just big turkey legs and people sitting in the aisle. The guy next to you is just eating a turkey leg.
I have a question. So if you get the turkey leg at Disneyland and you get into a line, you think that, okay, the line's long enough, I'm going to eat this turkey leg before I get on this
Can
ride.
I ask? This is not. I'm really asking. How long does it take to eat one of those things?
I don't know. I haven't had it. So
Average.
I mean, it's got to be a half an hour.
18.5 minutes.
Right.
Where it was
enormous.
A poll done.
Anyway.
The state of California.
So here's the situation. You think you're going to take a long time to get to the line. You don't finish this turkey leg by the time you get to board your ride. And, it's a significant amount of this turkey leg that's still left for you to eat. You paid a lot of money for it.
Yep.
Do you put it in your bag? Do you just throw it away?
No,
I'm
I'm doing one of two things. I'm either literally going back to the end of the line, or I'm pulling over to the side and maybe communicating with people, or I'm throwing it away.
It's Disneyland, $30 for a turkey leg. I'm keeping that thing.
Then you got to go back to the end of the line.
Nah, I'm gonna put it in the bag because they give it to you in a bag. I'm gonna put it inside the little pouch where you can put your stuff. The ride's over. Take it out of the pouch. And
that's not bad.
Because you don't want to throw up on the ride or something because you've eaten
this
turkey
guy
leg.
is going to be holding, and this is just.
Where do I keep my mashed potatoes and mac and cheese? I mean, if we're eating turkey legs at Disneyland, it's not Thanksgiving.
You guys sell stuffing here?
Exactly.
Hey, you guys have gravy?
Yeah.
You're still trying to
But
get
then,
some of
yeah,
that
imagine
gravy.
riding, I don't know, like the Incredicoaster with like the belly full of turkey leg. That sounds lovely.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip that. There are other things I like there. I don't know if I need the turkey leg at the top. We're doing it next, Lee. We're doing Rams. We're
Yeah,
talking
let's do
about
it.
why this is their playoff game on Sunday because it basically
Playoffs
is.
the rest of the way.
It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
Hey guys, it's producer Lindsay Baseball, and guess what? Thursday Night Football has a brand new home, and it's the 909 Sports Bar at Yamava Resort and Casino. Join me and the 710 Fun Games Department every Thursday night for a party. I will be giving away $1,000 cash every Thursday night. So, this Thursday from 4 to 7 at the 909 Sports Bar, win cash and watch football with me, producer Lindsay Baseball. Or maybe they should call me Lindsay Football. See you there.
The 12 Days of 710. Hi, this is Michelle Smallman, host of the new ESPN radio morning show Unsportsmanlike. Heard weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on 710. It's that time of year, time for the season of winning on 710. Just listen for me to give you the cue to call. When you hear it, be caller number 7 at 877-710-ESPN, and you get to pick a holiday gift box in the 710 studio. Will it be the Travis box, the Sliwa box, Mason, Ireland, the Sedano box, or Cappy? Each box could have a fabulous prize for you to win.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets?
Yes.
We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the 5th row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free!
Couple of notes here, Al. This one from Jacob on Twitter. He says, my wife has 50-plus nutcrackers scattered throughout the house. See, that makes me feel a little bit better.
About the Santas?
Yeah, like Santas, we're in triple digits in my house, for sure. I'm not even a little bit concerned about getting to 100. I'm positive. 50 nutcrackers is a lot. I think we have 2 nutcrackers in the house. How many Santas in the Sliwa residence? 0?
No, I probably got like 2 or 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You only need to get 97 more.
That number's still not registering to me. I don't know where they're all. That means they have to start. Basically, when you exit the freeway, she puts one out there.
No, there is one on the 2 on 3. I think there's
You know
3 on the front door.
You know how people have when they're about to sell a house.
You know what rule number 1 is, right? You want as little in that house as possible. You want it to look clean and
completely understand.
No clutter.
But not going where you think I'm going. When they're about to sell a house, typically what they have is a sign a few blocks away that has an arrow. House for sale.
Open house, yeah.
Open house for sale. I almost feel like Susan has Santas that are 3-4 blocks away that are taking you over because she doesn't know what to do with all the extra
I'm surprised
ones.
she hasn't hired a mall Santa to sit in our living room and just bring neighborhood children through and see what they want for Christmas. It's really the only thing missing.
Ah, man.
It's a lot.
She must be related to Buddy the Elf. That's I think the only other person that loves holidays as much as she does.
And Christmas is her number one favorite.
Yeah.
Like she gets into all of them.
That's my sisters and my mom, too.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And I get it. It's a great
definitely.
time.
No,
it's nice to see
memories,
friends.
childhood
all
memories,
of
all that. Yep.
But there is a point where it's like, take it easy.
It's 100 Santas.
Take it easy. 50 is too many.
I will tell you, if I
20
see
is too
her,
many.
if and when I see her, I'm never going to say, take it easy or way too many. I'm going to say, this is amazing.
You could fit one right over there. There's the one spot that doesn't have one. It's a lot.
Just 4 on your bed.
John in Huntington Beach of Fullerton says, Trav would only be interested in spinners if the spinners were pizzas instead. It's kind of John's an idea guy. I could be all right with that.
I don't know.
Makes sense.
What? I mean, we'd have to wrap them in plastic so they stay clean.
The
You
cardboard
look.
box.
You were just saying you'd put a turkey leg in your wallet.
No,
So-
I'll put it back in the bag that they give you the turkey leg and put it
He
inside
just
the
has it in
pouch.
his back pocket, just takes it out anytime.
I'm talking about the pouch within the ride. Like the ride has a pouch, so for you put your belongings. That's where I would put it, not in my wallet.
What would you think was going on in my life if I showed up with spinners?
God.
Midlife crisis?
No. I was just you had a few extra bucks to spend and spent them well.
Yeah, I tell you what it was.
Well,
Remember how we were talking about like you can have any car and you went with the Escalade or like a
Suburban,
something like that. That you finally got the car that you always wanted and it was already included on them and you didn't want to go in the hassle of taking them off. You're like, yeah, I'll just take it.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, I'll take it. That's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I want the stock ones because that's me.
And if you needed a spare, you wouldn't care. You
I
would
want the
just
ones
have
that look
spare.
like they're spinning backwards. I want those.
So it's funny because me and every morning, for some reason, I always run into Jorge on the freeway, and I notice his car because it's black and red rims every single time.
Well, you see, you're peacocking it. You want people to know you're coming.
So he'll honk, be like, "Hey, man!" He'll text me, "You're the only dude with the red rims I know."
DeAndre's not even looking for him. They're just like a flashing beacon as he's driving by. All right.
He's got a beam on the top of his car. Light the beam.
Light the red and black rims. The Rams have the Commanders this weekend. The Commanders are not good, but they're not like comically bad either. They're most of their games they've played are pretty close. Losing to Baltimore was their last chance to give themselves a little bit of a cushion. Had they been able to pull that one out, you could have afforded to maybe stub your toe once coming down the stretch.
some margin for error.
But
whatever
going
narrow
into
would have
it,
been.
none of us thought.
No, but they got close.
They
right?
did get close. They went to overtime and had a legitimate chance to win that
100%. And there were, I don't know about you guys, but there were multiple times in that Ravens game where I thought the Rams were going to
Yeah,
win.
I know. I'm with you.
Or that Matthew Stafford was going to throw that interception when that Ravens receiver.
Sure, but it
Should've
wasn't.
caught it, yep.
That's not the point I was making. The point I'm making is sometimes there's games you're like, it's close, but they're not going to win this game. It never felt like that.
Baltimore
it felt
looked
they had a
like
chance.
we have a legitimate chance to lose this game.
Yes.
Baltimore felt it.
And not just that they would lose, but that the Rams would win, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Baltimore turned it over 5 times and the Rams kept getting short fields. The Rams moved the ball on them. Put that aside.
Okay.
They should beat Washington on Sunday. They should beat New Orleans on Thursday. They should beat the Giants the following Sunday.
Hey.
That one is, I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. That was the one that felt a little tricky because you're just about to your goal. Lose any of those, and the path to the playoffs, I don't want to say is non-existent because you do play the Niners in the last week, but we know what that looks like. We know how that one's. The Niners are still competing for the number 1 overall seed.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on there.
Now,
that does not favor
just
the Rams.
hypothetically, what could potentially happen because the Eagles have stumbled a little bit, right? The fact that the Cowboys are still balling out, but if the final game of the year in Week 17 does not mean anything for the Niners, as in they're locked wherever they are, whether it's the number 1 seed, they're locked, they're done. I'm not so sure that the Niners are taking that day off. I'm not sure that they are.
I can almost guarantee you they're not.
I was going to say, there's also a part of it of, if we could take these guys out, take them out. Because if there's one team that has had, and I'm not telling you that the Niners are not incredible and have had incredible amount of success against the Rams, the one time it mattered most, what happened?
Right.
The Rams won.
Right.
I'd still put my money on the Niners.
Me too.
But I don't know if the Niners if the Niners have a chance to take them out, I wouldn't be shocked or surprised that the Niners say, we're going to get a bye week anyways.
The Niners are almost guaranteed to finish in that second slot at worst. They're either going to be 1 or 2. If they're locked into the 1, maybe a small little window where they say, hey, look, let's get out if McCaffrey's dinged up, if Deebo's dinged up, whatever it is. Let's just make sure that there's a little extra time to get those guys right. If they're the 2, the Rams are very likely, if they get in, to be the 7. They don't want to play them again. And for all the reasons that you just said, I get it. The Rams and the Niners matchup is a bad matchup for the Rams, clearly. But it's Matthew Stafford. It's Aaron Donald.
Sean McVay.
Yep. Puka's had a really nice season. Cooper Kupp seems to be showing a little signs of life. That could the Rams beat anybody in the league on any given day? Yes. They absolutely can. And I think that the Niners know that. And I think if they have a chance to dispatch them when they can, they're not going to wait around and give them a second life.
And if you're going to get if you take them out, you get Minnesota or Green Bay or something.
Sure.
There's a big difference between that.
There's a huge difference.
So
Matthew Stafford or Nick Mullins, give me a break.
But I took you off the point that you were making about each one of these games being critical.
If you lose any of them, that's a wrap. You're not coming back from you have to have these. They're basically in a 3-week playoff push with a bye in San Francisco if you can win these 3, right? That it's not a bye. Obviously, there's some things that can happen. But the fact of the matter is, if you lose any of those 3, your chances go from pretty good, as we sit here right now, to not very good at all. It is a playoff run for all intents and purposes with no margin of error.
I think setting it up that way does kind of simplify the process because – and I know, I think we talked a little bit about this yesterday. I know you hate to hear it this way, but it does simplify it in this sense, Trav. If you're good enough to make the playoffs, you're going to win these games. And if you're not good enough to make the playoffs and you stumble once, you were not good enough to be in the you don't deserve to be in the postseason if you can't win these 3 games. And I know winning 3 games in the NFL, it's not an easy task. Anything can happen in the NFL.
Not only win 3 out of the 3 in a row, Sliwa, but what you're asking them to do is win 6 out of 7. Because they did win 3 in a row.
Right.
They lost to Baltimore, and now you're asking them to win 3 more. 6 out of 7 in the NFL is incredibly challenging.
But two at home.
Yep.
1 on the road early.
And it's not like the Saints are 6-7.
On a short week, too, which as the home team is a huge advantage.
The Giants are 5-8. The Commanders are 4-9. Of course, Commanders the worst of those 3 teams. Do you know what that means? That means each one of these teams have had good weeks and have been able to win games. But that's why
it's not Carolina. It's not Arizona.
It's not.
It's not that.
That's why I go back to I think it's simplified. If you deserve to make the playoffs, you're going to win these games. If you stumble once, not only literally will you not make the playoffs, you also don't deserve to be in the postseason.
So what's weird / I guess you would think, having watched football for 40 years, having covered this team for the last 8 since they've come back, that this would have stuck in my head. The season is so blank and long. It changes so much that what it looks like in September doesn't matter at all. Yeah. What it looks like in October really doesn't matter a ton, because think about this. The Rams started this season, and their, air quote, path to the playoff was Matthew Stafford is awesome, Cooper Kupp is awesome, and Aaron Donald goes out there and does what Aaron Donald does. But we're going to have to outscore people offensively. Didn't happen at all. The only reason they were in games, the only reason they won some of those games is because the defense was holding the opponent under 20 points a game. The offense was terrible. They couldn't get anything going. Now we're back to where we started all over again, where when they're winning games, they're putting up 30s, where the defense kind of let them down against Baltimore. Special teams has been a nightmare all season long, and that could be the Achilles heel.
Yeah.
But we're back to where we started after going through like 3 different versions of, is Matthew Stafford, is Cooper Kupp washed, is Puka Nacua the MVP, like all of these different things. And here we are, and it's kind of what we thought at the beginning of the season, and we had 10 different twists and turns along the way.
I think this has a lot to do with their schedule. When it came out, what was it, August? Usually it comes out. We knew that beginning of that schedule was going to be a gauntlet. They played really good teams. We even knew ahead in August that they were going to be really good teams. This is the time of the year that they were going to have kind of a quote-unquote easier path. We didn't know how good these certain teams would be, but it's an easier path. And they just need to execute. I think that they've done, if we went back to August and we told them that this is the layout of how this season has gone, I don't know if we would have been completely shocked just based on the wins and losses.
I think they would take it. In a heartbeat,
I think
right?
they've won more games than I ever thought. Even if they lost these last 4, I still think that they've had a much better season than I could have ever imagined. Not just because you found all these starters.
Not losing these.
It would be a terrible way to finish.
Yeah.
But to what Emily was talking about is at the beginning of the season, if they said, hey, they're going to win 6 games and find all of these starters along the way, okay.
Yeah.
That's about what this felt like.
But they're still under 500.
Yeah.
So I think that I think that 6, I'm not shocked.
How many wins did you think they'd have before they played a single game?
Before they played a single game, I don't know if there's evidence of me saying this.
Yeah.
But I thought that they would probably be 7 or 8.
Yeah, I thought there were 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I
think you were
bad.
much more pessimistic than I was about this team because I think I had the idea of Matthew Stafford healthy and Sean McVay still as a coach.
Well, we reached the point where, from a business perspective, guys, stop. What are you doing winning these games? Why are you beating Seattle? No, don't beat Seattle. The Seahawks, you don't want that game.
Right.
And that kind of churned everything, to be honest with you. That moment, the moment Geno Smith gets injured, that started this, okay, maybe things are starting to work in their favor.
Missed kick, too.
Maybe missed kick. That's a good point. The missed kick as well. But since that moment, obviously, things have changed.
How weird. Speaking of kicks, missed kicks, Luke Haversick comes in against Baltimore, had a really good day.
Yeah, he did.
He had and by the way, in bad conditions. It was wet, it was rainy, it was windy. And he looked great. They cut Mason Crosby. He came in. They obviously saw something like, nah, we're good with what we got.
Or maybe Havertz just needed something under his butt to get him going. Maybe it's
this is it. This is my final shot here.
You're
and
replaceable.
If I don't deliver, I'm done.
Do they go roll it back again? Let's say he goes out there and the Rams squeak by, but he misses a couple of kicks he should make. Do you get Mason Crosby back on the phone?
I don't know.
Can you? Is that even legal?
I really don't know the intricacies, but I do think that maybe next year, depending on what they want to do the offseason, they might value that position a little more. And maybe they would spend money on a guy realizing how important that might be.
All right, so one coach still has a job despite all possible explanations. And there's another very famous coach that is very likely to be available at the end of the year. That's next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
The 12. Elevate your game at Hollywood Park Casino. Join Travis Rogers and Kirk Morrison this Sunday for their live Rams postgame show from the Rays Lounge at Hollywood Park Casino. Win prizes and interact with Travis and Kirk. Hollywood Park Casino is Los Angeles' premier card room casino and entertainment destination. Reminder, party, oh party, Sunday after the game. Come see Travis and Kirk and enjoy a postgame meal and drink at the Rays Lounge right after Rams football is done. Hollywood Park Casino. Eat, drink, play.
The 12 Days of 710. Hi, this is Michelle Smallman, host of the new ESPN radio morning show Unsportsmanlike. Heard weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on 710. It's that time of year, time for the season of winning on 710. Just listen for me to give you the cue to call. When you hear it, be caller number 7 at 877-710-ESPN, and you get to pick a holiday gift box in the 710 studio. Will it be the Travis box, the Sliwa box, Mason, Ireland, the Sedano box, or Cappy? Each box could have a fabulous prize for you to win.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, Give me Laker tickets. Yes. We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the 5th row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free!
Caller number 7 is on the line for the 12 days of 710. Daniel Wright in Bellflower. Are you ready to pick a holiday box from the 710 studio?
I'm ready, man. Let's do this.
All right, Daniel. Which host box do you want to pick? The Trav box, the Sliwa box, Mace, Ireland, Sedano, or Cap?
When you were out sick, Travis, Bergman wanted the caller to choose a Travis box, so that's what I'm going to do too. Choose a Travis box.
The Travis Box.
The Travis Box.
Here we go. Let's see what's inside the box. Congratulations, you win a Sierra Subaru prize pack. And, of course, a gift card from our friends at Islands. And that's what's in the box, Jack.
All right, Daniel Wright from Bellflower, you just won the Subaru prize pack.
There you go.
Gift card to Islands. Congratulations. And let me ask you this. What station takes care of you during the season of winning?
ESPN LA 710, baby. Let's go.
Let's go, Danny.
The 12 days of 710.
The 12 days of 710.
It's the season of winning on 710.
I like that. Can I be a little, I like when people pick my box.
Mm-hmm. It's fair. It's a good feeling.
It's a weird sentence to say.
No, but it's a good feeling.
Hey, pick my box, Lee.
Inside, I'm like... Trav, inside, I'm like, yeah.
We got another one. We got another one from sure. So there's a report out of Boston that Bill Belichick is not coming back to the Pats at the end of the season. That they made the decision after they lost in Germany earlier this year. Here's the guy on the report, Tom Curran from NBC Boston.
When they came out of Germany, conversations I had that week made it very clear that a decision was made and they were going to play out the string, and at the end of the year there would be a parting of the ways for a variety of reasons. I think, and I wasn't told this specifically, but the main one being, you don't fire Bill Belichick during the season. It's just not going to happen. Additionally, though, he's an asset. He's under contract for another year, which we reported after ESPN or NFL media reported there was a long-term extension in place that would keep Bill locked up long-term. It's only through next year. So that would not be an impediment to them changing course. And it had gone too far. The Germany game, the Commanders game, the Rangers, all marquee games, and then there was a Chargers game after that.
So that makes sense, right? You don't fire Bill Belichick in the middle of the season. The man has won multiple Super Bowls. He's probably going to be the all-time winningest coach in the league by the time it's all said and done. And, you know, he's a grump and maybe something beyond that occasionally, but he's been an unbelievably valuable asset to your organization.
He's got 6
for
championships.
2 decades. So you don't can him in the middle of the season. But you probably also do need to move on from him at the end of this. They need to start over. They need a breath of fresh air, everything else. So Belichick, if Tom Curran's report is accurate, it's going to be available at the end of the year. I know that we've been talking about this literally for 3 seasons. I cannot believe that Brandon Staley is still the head coach of the Chargers. It just defies explanation. I don't say this he's bad at his job. Like he is not NFL caliber as a head coach
material.
Right?
Yep.
Coordinator, sure, but he's just done a really lousy job with that team. Do the Chargers finally do the right thing and go get a guy that's got a brand, that's got a vision? Would Bill Belichick want to work for the Spanoses? Does he want to come to the West Coast? Because there's a lot of negatives to the Chargers, but the biggest one is you got a quarterback that you know is a high-level NFL player.
Okay, let me ask you this question. I think it's fair to say Belichick moving on from the Patriots sounds like, okay, yeah, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for – look at their last couple of seasons in the trajectory that they're going. 2021, they make the playoffs. They go 10-7. 8-9 last year, 3-10 this year. Does it feel like there's any light at the end of the tunnel? Does it feel like it's getting any better?
None.
He's 71 years old. Does it feel like some of the shine has come off Bill Belichick?
Some, yes.
I think some of the shine has come off.
For sure.
Here's the question that you got to
ask. And
Morris
landed on Tom Brady, believe it or not. If there was ever a way to get more shiny, Brady did.
Yeah, because and this kind of went both ways. When Tom Brady left the New England Patriots and then went this way, it was, well, which one can you say? Well, Tom Brady was in the playoffs every year.
And won a Super Bowl.
And won a freaking Super Bowl. And the Bill Belichick piece of it, hey, no, it's the franchise, it's the coach. That's more important than your quarterback. Well, it's gone the other way. I do feel like there has been more shine that's gone to Tom Brady. So the question that I ask you, the Chargers have a really bad look. They just have a bad look. You have an ownership that clearly a chance to go get Sean Payton, you don't go get him. You keep a coach, like you were just saying, that it seemed very clear, it's been at least 1 year too late. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
1 year too late. But
look at what Peyton's done in Denver. They were one of the worst teams in football through the first 5 weeks. They might make the playoffs.
But you could still sell me on, I'm going to keep him last year because I'm going to give him 2 years of a 4-year deal. I'm going to give him 2 years. But anything past that, now it's like, wait a minute, you have an opportunity to go get a coach that wants to come to L.A., wants to be a part of your franchise, and just won a Super Bowl, and you didn't take advantage of it. That's a debacle in itself. For me, the bigger question is, does Belichick want to go to a franchise where it does not feel like they got their I's dotted and their T's crossed, and he feels like, but I'm the difference. If I go there, whatever issues that they have, and I have a quarterback – I can fix this. Or is there another franchise, another opportunity somewhere else where he'd say, no, give me. I need good ownership. I need ownership to kind of understand where I'm going, the structure, and everything else. And I don't know if I have that answer.
So it's really hard to know Belichick because he's done such a masterful job of giving us nothing over the last 20 years. So I don't know if this is even in the decision tree. You remember when LeBron came to L.A.? What was the rap on it?
He was coming here to kind of like,
retirement gig.
I'm going to go make some movies. I got my production company. That's why I'm coming.
And we'll be okay. And I'll break the scoring record in a Laker uniform. And maybe we'll do all right. Maybe we won't. But this is a nice place to kind of wrap it all up.
Yeah.
Turns out everybody's wrong about all of that.
Everybody was.
But that was what if there's something similar going on here with Belichick? Not that he wants to make movies or anything, but you know what? I get to live in a nice place.
Yep.
I get to
SoCal.
I get to coach a really good quarterback. Is the ownership group a bunch of clowns? Yeah, whatever.
Well, I could put in my contract how much control I have.
Sure, and I'm not trying to start my career. I'm Bill Belichick. I'm gonna do what I want. They're not gonna be able to get in my way because I'm coming in. And to your point, we can lay it down legally, but I don't have to play your game. I'm Bill Belichick. I just need to get whatever, how many more wins he needs to break the record. 20-some wins. Can I get that in 3 years? Yeah, I can. Do I have to kill myself to get there? Not with the talent on this team, you don't.
Sure. Win 7 games a year, you're going to get it.
Bill Belichick, at his worst, is 1,000 times more competent than Brandon Staley.
Of course.
With this talent and Bill Belichick just coaching the team, never mind GM responsibilities because he kind of sucks at that, but just having him put together game plans, just having him put together what needs to get done with that talent, they're going to win 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games a year just because. He wants that record. I think everybody that knows anything about him knows he wants that record. Is there a place he could step in and go win another championship right away? Probably not, right? At least not one that jumps off the page at you. There's Washington. There's Vegas. There's going to be some more vacancies. Chicago, maybe with that number one. But again, that's starting over. That's a rookie quarterback. I got to teach this guy. I got to do all these things. This is as close to a really good team as going to come open. You got a veteran, really good quarterback. I'm biased, but it's Los Angeles, a place that I think most people would like to live.
Sure.
It's a nice place to live. He's going to make the money. It makes the only thing that doesn't make sense to me is whether or not the Spanuses will have the wherewithal to actually do the right thing. That's it.
And imagine the coaching duo of Sean McVay and Bill Belichick as our coaches here in Los Angeles.
Well, look, this is the one thing that I'm going to go back to. And, you know, I think, unfortunately, if you are a Charger fan, you're not going to give Dean Spanos the benefit of the doubt on this. You're the Chargers. You're already just trying to do anything you can to be relevant in the market. By the way, Shohei just went to the Dodgers. USC has Lincoln Riley. They're going to get in that Big Ten, and there's going to be some real college football with UCLA as well because Michigan and Ohio State and this. The Lakers are doing whatever they're doing. The Clippers are about to move into a new arena as well. You're fighting for, can we get some scraps of attention? Don't you have to go do this?
Belichick would get you attention. At least you'd win the press conference, so to speak, right? That you would have the moment where here comes a guy, I don't think he would do this, but he could put 3 rings on each hand and go, this is what I'm bringing to town. And I know what winning football looks like. I know we have the pieces on this roster to be a winning football team. Get you fired up. It's Bill Belichick. Now,
the attention that you just said, too, how many times they're going to pan over to that sideline and he's wearing a Los Angeles Chargers, whatever it is, there is something that comes to that, too. Then you got to win. After that, then you got to win.
If you were the Chargers, would you let him be your GM? Because that's what he was with the Patriots. Would you let Bill? If that's the deal, if he says, I'm only coming if you let me be both the GM and the head coach, because that's what I'm used to doing.
Yeah.
You fire Tom Telesco, you fire
I can answer your question. What's the Chargers' pull in all this? Like, what's the pull that they have? I don't think you could. If Bill Belichick wants to come to the Chargers and he's asking for, and by the way, it's okay to question him. Look, if we allowed you to do this, can we also just make sure you got the right surrounding pieces around you? Okay, the Chargers say no. Okay, then he just doesn't come. He's got the pull, not the Chargers.
I think if it were a team, I don't want to say it's the other 31 teams, but way more than half of the other teams in the league, I would not want Bill Belichick to be my GM. I would say, look, we want you to put this together. We think that we've got a pretty good personnel department, and we're going to continue to work with that. We want you to coach the players that we're going to put together. With the Chargers, why the blank not? What's the downside? He makes it worse? Okay. You're already
He actually
irrelevant.
would be the one that gets the blame.
It's a pretty high draft pick they're going to get this year, too.
But think about that if Belichick went to the Chargers, you actually can't blame Dean. You can't blame the organization.
No, probably not.
You're going to blame, what's going on with Belichick?
You know how you can blame him? The same way that we've blamed him for 30, 40 years, however long they've been there.
Yeah.
They're just, the room stinks. It's rotten from the inside. That even Bill Belichick couldn't fix it. That's how they get blamed for it. It's just it's the Artie Moreno thing. It's not that Shohei was bad. It's not that Trout's bad. It's that all 94 managers you fired weren't all bad. All 97 GMs you fired weren't bad. What's the one piece that's been here through all of it? No, him.
Artie Moreno.
That's the problem. It's the Spanos thing. They've had Antonio Gates, Phillip Rivers, they've had great players along the way, right? So if you give it all to them and it's bad, you just, nobody cares about us anyway. At least we tried it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's better. Maybe it's really good. There's not a ton of risk if you're the Chargers. If the Rams for what Sean McVay decides he's doing TV. Bill Belichick says, I'd love to have that job. The Rams, you say, yeah, cool. Les Snead's still picking the players. We're still going to do like
completely different.
Different teams
Completely
have different standards.
I did hear that Artie Moreno is looking to shop Shohei right now. That supposedly he's ready to trade him.
I don't know if you guys talked about this over the last couple of days.
Yeah.
The position they are in is so unspeakably terrible that I know they got some good young players. They'll find a way to mess that up.
Okay.
They got nothing. Babe Ruth descended from the heavens and picked them. And they they went to 0 playoff games. They played in 0 meaningful baseball games in 6 years. Everybody knew they weren't making the playoffs last year. Everybody knew they weren't making the playoffs the year before that. And they kept saying, run it back. And now you've got a compensatory draft pick for the greatest baseball player that anyone in our lifetime has seen or ever will see. Good job, guys.
That's Angels.
Maybe fire another 6 or 7 managers. Maybe that's the problem. Unreal. Hot and cold coming up next. It's Trav and Slee, 710 ESPN. I did play Prize Picks, Slee. Even though I couldn't talk.
You had so much time.
I had a lot of time. I got to study the numbers. And this is what's great at Prize Picks, right? It's the most fun I've had playing daily fantasy sports, really, ever. Pick between 2 and 6 players. Choose more or less. They're going to give you the stat line. You choose, I think that player's going to have more than that. I think that player's going to have less than that. 2 to 6 players, you can win up to 25 times your money at Prize Picks.
All right, this is the other thing, and I know Trav always mentions this. It only takes about 60 seconds to submit your picks. I put my picks in already. I like looking at the games that are coming up. Let's use one of the players that the Lakers have, Victor Wembanyama. More than or less than 21 points versus the Lakers. I'm actually going to go less than. I think the Lakers are going to try to bounce back. They were so awful on defense yesterday. I think we'll get a better product from the Lakers. I go less than with Wemby. Let's take another big-time player in the NBA, Joel Embiid. More than or less than 33.5 points versus the Pistons, who have lost 20 games in a row. I'll go less than. I'll go less than because I think they're going to blow them out. Embiid probably won't have to play in the fourth quarter. Take 60 seconds to submit your picks. Go to prizepicks.com/710. Use that code 710 for a first deposit match of up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/710. Use that promo code 710 for a first deposit match of up to $100.
Elevate your game at Hollywood Park Casino. Join Travis Rogers and Kirk Morrison this Sunday for their live Rams postgame show from the Rays Lounge at Hollywood Park Casino. Win prizes and interact with Travis and Kirk. Hollywood Park Casino is Los Angeles' premier card room casino and entertainment destination. Reminder, party, oh party, Sunday after the game. Come see Travis and Kirk and enjoy a postgame meal and drink at the Rays Lounge right after Rams football is done. Hollywood Park Casino. Eat, drink, play.
All right, guys, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets? Yes. We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the 5th row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free!
The 12 Days of 710. Hi, this is Michelle Smallman, host of the new ESPN radio morning show, Unsportsmanlike. Heard weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on 710. It's that time of year, time for the season of winning on 710. Just listen for me to give you the cue to call. When you hear it, be caller number 7 at 877-710-ESPN, and you get to pick a holiday gift box in the 710 studio. Will it be the Travis box, the Sliwa box, Mason, Ireland, the Sedano box, or Cappy? Each box could have a fabulous prize for you to win.
Call 833-3-NEXTGEN, NEXGEN, or visit nextgenairandplumbing.com. Time for our feature we do 3 days a week at 12:30 p.m. Who's hot? Who's cold? Thanks to NextGen. And it's time for What's Hot. How about the Idaho In-N-Out? Take it away, Producer M.
All right, so Idaho has been blessed with one of the best chain restaurants in the world, In-N-Out. And so they're getting their very first In-N-Out in Idaho. Congratulations to them. But people were lining up the day before in order to get the food. So would you ever camp out for food? So say you move to New Jersey for some reason.
Yep.
You don't have an In-N-Out, and you've never had an In-N-Out since you left California. Would you camp out overnight to get the very first In-N-Out in New Jersey?
So when I moved to Texas, at the time there were no In-N-Outs in Texas.
Now there are.
There are now. I know for sure they're in Dallas. I don't know if they've gone other places as well. But there were rumors that they were going to open some locations in Texas. Dallas to Houston is about 3 hours apart by car. I considered if they got one open, I was going to go there. I don't know if I would have waited overnight to do something like that. But
you would make a pilgrimage?
I might. Just kind of one of those, go spend the day in another city and kind of make it a reason to go and do it. But I have friends in Oregon that are expat Californians that are living there. And when they came to Oregon, it was lines around the block. Same thing in Denver and places like that. It's a big deal. I wouldn't wait because I've gotten it pretty regularly, but I kind of get it.
So, first off, In-N-Out has mastered the product is great. They deliver every single time. What they've really mastered is we're not going to be where you want us to be. We will be where we feel like we can still have the product that we serve. It's fresh. It's this. What we don't want to do is expand to a level where people are saying, yeah, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, denigrating the quality.
It's why they don't use delivery services.
The supply and demand is the bet, like as good of any business that I've ever seen be able to work the supply and demand. To go back to the question of would you camp out somewhere? Listen, if I'm in Texas for a couple of days and people are saying that, hey, it was ranked number one, a barbecue, blah, blah, blah. People get there. You got to be there at 6 a.m. in the morning or something like that. I would do it because I think that's a cool experience. If there was a place that I knew everybody is saying you cannot leave that place, that city, unless you try this food, I think I would do it.
Yeah, but maybe you wouldn't get your tent out, but maybe you'd wait in a long line. So, for example, when Chick-fil-A kind of started expanding or whatever, if you go to that restaurant on the very first day, they will give you a year supply of coupons for Chick-fil-A. I know you hate Chick-fil-A, Jorge,
sucks.
whatever. But if there's an example of like In-N-Out would give you a year of free hamburgers if you go there the very first day, would that make you want to go even more?
I don't go that often enough to make that like an economic play.
But it could last 2 years because they give you a physical thing, no expiration date.
Yeah, maybe. The thing that I would want more than anything, if I'm in a for the life of me, I don't know why this is true, but it is. When I was in Texas and Mexico share a border that's 800 miles long, whatever it is. I could not find good Mexican food in Texas to save my life.
It's Tex-Mex?
Yes, which I don't like. I could not find. If you would have told me, hey, there's a place that's opening real carne asada burritos around it, I would have waited in line all day to get one of those. Sure. What about carnitas for you?
Carnitas for sure. Let's know. How early did you kill that pig?
Fresh.
All right, it's time for Who's Cold.
And now time for Who's Cold. The Suns DJ.
Oh, I didn't know if that was a question. The Suns DJ. All right, so was it last week, Al, that this happened? Last week, Steve Kerr, when they played the Suns, was complaining about the noise. Oh, it's like a South Beach club in here. So the Suns DJ took that to heart and decided to make a remix with Steve Kerr's voice as a sample. So here is what it sounded like.
In this building, you can't hear anything because it's like a club. It's like a South Beach club. It's just this thumping techno club music. Thumping techno club music. Thumping.
Get in there.
Techno club music.
This is genius.
Techno club music.
It's great. It's great.
Why'd you stop it? I was getting into that. That was great.
That is so genius. I love that. And Steve Kerr has.
So I have the response from Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
So it's also that song was like, push me and then just touch me. That's that song that was. Anyway, so here's Steve Kerr yesterday before the game. So obviously he's not as mad after Draymond. So this is before the game in response to the Suns DJ.
I think it's hilarious. I love it. We're in the entertainment business, and stuff like that is great. I mean, it's I may have to respond with something of my own. We'll see what that is.
So you are waiting on bated breath for the diss track from Steve Kerr?
Well, let me say this. I think that the thing I love most about, first off, he's complaining. Cool. They make something entertaining at the arena. Awesome. Steve Kerr also wasn't whining about it after. Yeah. Steve Kerr is like, okay, let me give credit where credit's due. That's a really good idea. A little bit higher. Like start it a little lower.
I'm only right here. I'll get it like this. Once it gets louder, then I get higher, Slee.
Yeah,
like,
you're
right
raising the roof.
We're down here.
Yeah.
But now see, as it comes up, I come up. Right?
It's like saying you don't like something that's going to make someone do it even more, you know?
The reason I like Kerr as much, he's obviously a good coach. His players obviously respond to him really well.
Yep.
But he gets mad about things. But when he realizes that somebody got him, he rolls with it.
Yeah.
Like there's those guys that, this place sucks. It's loud. It's like a club. And they do something like that. That's what I'm talking about. Right? No, he realized, okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, I got to come up with something. Don't come up with something. Just let it sit there. Don't do anything. Just make sure that you don't try to drop a beat of your own. That's not going to be what it is. Who's hot? Who's cold? It's brought to you by NextGen. NextGen, the official AC heat and plumbing company of SoCal sports fans. Call 833-3-NEXTGen or visit nextgenaaronplumbing.com. The Dump's coming up next. It's Travis Slee, 710 ESPN. Head into your neighborhood. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, home of the 15-minute drive-through oil change. For over 30 years, Valvoline has provided quick and convenient automotive maintenance services for busy people just like you. So before you pack up your car and head out of town to go on your family holiday vacation, go see grandma, go see your brother, your sister, your best friend, head into your neighborhood Valvoline Instant Oil Change and let the expert technicians make sure that your ride is at its absolute best. Over 80 locations ready to help you get your ride ready for the road in no time. So visit SoCalOilChange.com for locations and game-winning coupons off of your next Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
You never have to.
Hey guys, it's producer Lindsay Baseball, and guess what? Thursday Night Football has a brand new home, and it's the 909 Sports Bar at Yamava Resort and Casino. Join me and the 710 Fun Games Department every Thursday night for a party. I will be giving away $1,000 cash every Thursday night. So this Thursday from 4 to 7 at the 909 Sports Bar, win cash and watch football with me, producer Lindsay Baseball. Or maybe they should call me Lindsay Football. See you there.
Big news, Laker fans. John Ireland here. You can now stream every Lakers game on the ESPN LA app. Don't miss a second of the action with Michael Thompson and I on the call. Plus, all your live and local Lakers talk every day in the palm of your hand.
You're one tap away from everything Lakers.
You could even win Lakers tickets.
Download the ESPN.
The 12 Days of 710. Hi, this is Michelle Smallman, host of the new ESPN radio morning show Unsportsmanlike. Heard weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on 710. It's that time of year, time for the season of winning on 710. Just listen for me to give you the cue to call. When you hear it, be caller number 7 at 877-710-ESPN, and you get to pick a holiday gift box in the 710 studio. Will it be the Travis box, the Sliwa box, Mason, Ireland, the Sedano box, or Cappy? Each box could have a fabulous prize for you to win.
The Ohtani deal is the one that keeps on giving, Slade. Let's start here. Ken Rosenthal just tweeted this just a few minutes ago. He's talking about some of the details of Ohtani's contract. People are obviously getting a chance to read some of the specific language. And Ken Rosenthal, your guy, writes the following. Contract also states, quote, if specific change in Dodger personnel, player may opt out of contract at end of season, the change occurs. Not known at present who this refers to. So let's think this through together. So it obviously is a specific person that is put in there by name, right? That if player, executive, owner X is gone, dies, moves on, traded, whatever, I get out of this deal at the end of that particular season.
I think we know it is.
Who do you think it is?
Dodger personnel. I'd have to assume that that's a Dave Roberts thing.
Why?
He's probably the and maybe if you're saying it's specific name, I'm going to assume personnel that it's your manager, and I'm assuming also that's a name that's been thrown around with potentially, hey, at least from a fan perspective, that this is a guy that you staying with him or you not staying with him.
It could be Friedman.
Sure could.
A manager could also be a very, very important one for Shohei Ohtani.
Sure.
Come ask me. Ask me. I'm not telling you I'm going to disagree with you.
Right.
I'm saying ask me. So maybe it has less to do with the actual person. It has more to do with.
I think that's it.
If the franchise is going in a different direction, I want to know about it.
But if it's a specific person, and reading this tweet leads you to believe that it's written down that it's if Dave Roberts or if Andrew Friedman or if Mark Walter changes on, that it's a specific name in there. It's not like they couldn't say, we've decided to trade Max Muncy to the Orioles for Adley Rutschman. It's not that. They can operate their business, but it's somebody. It could be Mookie. It could be Fred. I mean, who knows who it is? But basically, it just guarantees that if this person's going to move, I get to sign off on it, not you.
By the way, interesting. I mean, listen, I think players already have that power. I think players already have the power of you make sure you talk to me before you make a front office move. Make sure that if you're going to make a big – talk to me. I'm the star here.
Yeah.
But this is
Wouldn't they do that anyway?
That's what I'm saying is I think this stuff happens already. But to have that in his contract, that is definitely I'm running a lot of things. You got to run things through me. I'm not just a player. I am technically the game.
He's everything. He's the son of that galaxy.
You got any issues with it?
No. Look, whether it's written down or whether it's just implied, I don't think that this is super unusual.
It's like with LeBron.
Yeah. If we're going to make
but people were making moves without LeBron's consent.
Eventually. Eventually. I think at the beginning, everybody's going to be very solicitous of
but
Ohtani.
I don't think they would fire Darvin Ham. I don't think they would fire Rob Pelinka without going through LeBron first.
Get your hands up, Em. There you go. Feels good.
Anytime we get a tweet from Rosenthal, I want that song to go on. I heard Rosenthal, Ken was saying something. They were talking about how he has his own podcast, and he was talking about how some of the errors that came in the reporting for Shohei. And he went back and talked about how he's like, look, my worst error, I still live to it to this day. I can't stand it. I know that people, and he's talking about Scherzer. I actually admired that a lot when he was like, technically got duped, right? These agents do get play, or these sometimes these reporters can get played because, they're looking for leverage in this, whatever the case is.
Subscribe to the idea that maybe the Toronto leak was a play?
Could be.
On the Ohtani part?
I 1,000% think it was. How could it not be?
It absolutely could be. It could be.
He's on a plane going to Toronto. Who's giving you that information?
They're the most likely source of that information. But it could also be, look, I'm not going to get on a journalism high horse here because, A, I'm not a journalist. I wasn't trained to be one. I don't know all the rules, but I know one of the tenets of this sort of thing, you got to get it from two places, right? That you got to get two independent sources. Ohtani's on a plane to Toronto. Okay, let's say that comes from somebody inside his camp. Really? It's done? Yep, we're on our way there. Okay, somebody else needs to tell you that too. Somebody at
Call
the
Blue
airport.
Jays. Airport.
Somebody, air traffic control. Somebody the guy loading the bags into the airplane. Somebody say, yeah, I saw him got on into the airplane. If one person tells you something, that's
Can I play you out? Can I play this one out for you? Ohtani's agent.
Nez Bolello.
Here is the latest of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And he's only leaking this information to a few people. Mm-hmm. Here's where we are. You're not running with that story? I'm running with that story.
I'm not. For exactly what happened is the reason you can't. It's a reason Verducci didn't do it. There's a reason Passan didn't do it. There's a reason Rosenthal didn't do it.
Maybe on purpose he picked the guy that he thought would.
Then that guy should have said, wait, why is no one else here? I know you want to be first. Why do I have it? Right?
Well, listen, these guys definitely have. It's not out of the ordinary. There's a few guys that have the relationships.
But this is the biggest.
You can't.
I get that.
The guy that got it wrong is okay, buddy. He's the okay, buddy for the rest of his career because you missed so big. This is when you want to be first, but I don't understand the value in being 10 minutes ahead of the next person. Nobody remembers.
Well, can I tell you that? Here's the risks that you're in. There's a good chance it's going to be very difficult to ever trust you again. And it doesn't have to be necessarily your fault, but you got some information, you thought it was legit. That could end a career. That could change the perception of whoever it is that reported it. So now you got to ask yourself, is it worth the risk? Because the first person, is the first person to report that Shohei Ohtani was going to be a Los Angeles Dodger?
Shohei
Ohtani on his Instagram account. And that's the only one that you could look at and say, okay, this is the trusted one. It's Shohei who was saying it. If anybody else reported it, at that point you're kind of questioning, is this accurate information or is it not?
I think you're right, but had it been Tom Verducci or Jeff Passan or one of those guys, I would have been pretty damn sure it was accurate. Because those guys don't really miss. And they would never put themselves in a position to miss on that. They just, because they know that their business and their reputations are created on getting that one.
You're going to be remembered for that rather than being remembered for all the ones you got right.
Did you guys see the thing that was going around I saw it on Instagram, I think. I don't know where it originated.
It's Twitter, it's Instagram, it's all over.
The Wolf of Wall Street sign where they're talking about, giving all this money away and selling all these bonds and stocks and everything, but they replace it with all the Shohei details of the contract, and it syncs up. It looks perfect, and it's a tremendous job of kind of dubbing something over. Did you get a chance to see it?
I haven't seen it, no.
It was lovely.
So I've seen it, and I came off of this being like, if I was Leonardo DiCaprio, I would be so mad. It's like, you're using my voice to do something that I didn't record. This is what they were fighting for in that SAG-AFTRA.
Is it because it was done so well that it wasn't clunky?
That it wasn't clunky. I think either way, I think it's slippery slope. I think we didn't have to do it. I think it's funny. I think it was. But if Leonardo DiCaprio had recorded that and then they just used his voice and did it over that, I would be okay with it.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
It's just using his AI without his permission that I really have up against.
No, this is the Black Mirror version of events, right? This is
because it's harmless, it doesn't hurt anybody, but it could hurt someone in the future.
It took me a second watching it. Sedano's sitting down with us right now too, getting ready for a little Super Crosstalk coming up big. George, did you see what we're talking about? The Wolf of Wall Street scene where they dubbed in all the Ohtani details of the contract.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get a chance to see that?
I have not seen that, but I know the movie.
It's terrific because it literally looks like DiCaprio's character is saying all these things about Ohtani and all this scene where everybody's going crazy and everything else. It is. What's scary is that it's so well done.
Exactly, that you could, if you had no idea about that movie, you could have think that it was about that. It's because AI could be so good at times that it blurs the line and people could lie. I just get scared. So no.
Today's show is completely AI. I have no idea.
By the way, the Steve Kerr bit is hilarious.
It's amazing.
That was a great job that you guys pulled that. But the game, I was at the game. It
The
was the
original?
day before Thanksgiving. And he was moaning and groaning about it in game.
Oh, was he really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I'm not surprised he did it post game. So
his reaction to it is really
great.
the only
Yeah.
response, right?
Yeah.
You got to kind of roll with it because if you dug in and said, "No, this is what's wrong with the league," then they got you.
But that's him.
Yeah.
Like, he's great. Like, of all the coaches I
Personality-wise,
interview, he's
yeah.
the best.
Who's
like,
the
I'll never forget the year that they had everybody hurt. Remember that everybody was just hurt and it was just Draymond? They were playing the Lakers. And the rule when I interview coaches on the sideline is if it's 20 points or more, they don't have to do it. So I think it was 19. in the first quarter against the Lakers.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And I said to him something to the effect of, hey, obviously the defense is not, what you'd want it to be. Like, how do you remedy that? And he goes, I don't know. You got any ideas? And I start laughing, and I said, well, you're the coach. It's not my job. He's like, yeah, you're right. I'm doing a terrible job at it. And then that day in Phoenix, Richard Jefferson and him are obviously very close, both Arizona guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them before I went on camera, I said to him, hey, let's bust Richard's balls, And he's like, let's do it. So I said to him, hey, so Richard, second question was like, hey, my colleague Richard Jefferson says you're really mad about such and such a situation that happened in the first quarter or whatever. And he's like, Richard, who? And I'm like, Jefferson? He's like, never heard of him. And he just walks away. So he's great, like, in that regard.
Who's the guy you're looking forward to least going in there?
I actually had a good Pop thing just recently the other day. It was Pop back in the day, but I got him good in Toronto a couple years ago, so I feel like that kind of
broke the ice,
changed our relationship. I think most coaches are fine. There are guys that don't say anything. Who's really always way too honest is Michael Malone. Like, just way too honest. Like, I'm like, should you be saying that about your players? Like, it's kind of crazy. But
So he's got a good relationship with his guys if he's doing that.
Yeah, but most guys don't. I mean, I don't know. Tibbs probably doesn't say much, unless he's really angry.
Yeah, you kind of want that sweet spot of angry but not apoplectic, not where they want to break somebody's neck.
Yeah.
Just
Stan
angry
Van
enough to
Gundy
say something.
One time, this was during COVID, so I wasn't even like face to face with him. I was like up in the rafters doing the interview with like a headset, and they were playing the Warriors, and he was the Pelicans coach at the time, which only lasted a year. And I said to him, they had a miserable first quarter, just miserable. And I said, the last question was, Stan, is there anything positive you can take out of that first quarter? And he goes, not a damn thing. So sometimes, at least with me, I tend to know the personality, so I know where I can poke and prod or have some fun. But yeah, I would say Steve is the top of just easy to deal with and fun,
You know what we should do right now, Mace?
I'm going to guess some Supercross.
Some Supercross stuff.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles.
KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk. Are we ready for Mason and Ireland to join Travis and Slee?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk presented by In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out. That's what a hamburger is all about.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
Woo, woo, woo. Sedano, you just told me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's 2.5 hours away here.
72 hours without
2.5 hours.
Morsel of food.
Just water.
Yeah.
How are you standing
what do
up?
you eat? You eat like a big slice of
No,
pizza?
on the contrary, you have like soup.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something.
Bone
Like
broth,
for me,
soup, like some. Yeah. Go
I
ahead.
haven't eaten
in an hour.
It's been a
Well,
while.
here's the thing. Travis is on a fast. 72 minutes.
Yeah.
72
Hey, that works for Travis.
No, he's not. He was in the kitchen
Oh,
like
was he?
15
Oh.
minutes ago.
Kate's brought in cookies. I wasn't
I know.
going
What
to
are you gonna
not
do?
eat one of
There
those
is so
cookies
much
that's sitting
food
there.
at this place.
Yeah.
So much food. There's
That's
always
impressive.
something to eat.
That's freaking impressive.
And I think these
that you're
cough
still doing
drops
it.
have like a calorie apiece, so
Yeah.
I've had like 1,000 calories today
There you go.
already
Are they
because I've been
the
going through
Halls
You sound way
Blue-
better,
Yeah,
though.
you sound way better.
I felt okay most of the time. I had one day that didn't feel great, but I just couldn't talk.
Yeah, no, you sounded bad. It
And
was good.
I was telling these guys I would not pass any WADA-sanctioned drug testing at this point
Yeah.
He's on
because I am
PEDs.
on enough steroids
Oh, is
to
that right?
choke
Yeah.
a horse. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
it.
It worked.
So,
I-
like, how do they do? You've got, like, swelling of the vocal cords, or what is it?
So this happens to me every once in a while.
Yeah.
And I went and saw my doc in the box, right, the urgent care.
Yes.
And I told him, he goes, okay, here, I'll give you the course of steroids. And I didn't really help. So I went back on Monday and I said, hey, I talk for a living. I kind of got to get this thing under control. He goes, oh. And he went to like the uber hardcore
The really
subscription.
strong stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in a day, boom.
Nice.
back.
So I had a nodule on my vocal cords years ago now. From you're loud and you're angry. You know, and I developed. It's sort of like a blister on your vocal cords that I had to have removed. It was a little scary because I didn't know if I was going to sound the same.
Of course.
Afterwards, this happens with singers a lot. And then I had to go through all this speech therapy to learn how to talk different to avoid some of the things that I was doing.
You did like a voice and diction class?
Well, you know what it is? It's hard. Okay, so ESPN starts with a hard E sound.
Right.
Okay? So what the doctor says is put a slight H before every hard vowel.
Oh,
so
interesting.
ESPN. You'll hear me do it. A lot of times you'll hear me actually do that when I'm talking. I'll stick an H in front of things because it's easier in your voice. So there's, use an H. That's
ESPN.
ESPN.
ESPN 710.
Did you just forget to go to the store for 3 days, or what's going on?
No, I just, traveling all fall for college football, you just don't eat right. Even when you try to eat right, you just can't eat
Not
right.
happening.
And then there's
Airplanes,
booze,
hotels,
and there's
press
booze.
boxes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like after games, like it's just I probably put on like 5 pounds, and I just didn't feel well. And I was like, and I intermittent fast all the time. Like I can go the longest I'd ever done before. I was telling Slee and Mace yesterday was 44. I never got to the 48. And I was
no
kind
headaches, no nothing.
And I was that time I got headaches. This time I didn't because I was. I started to get a little one when I got here yesterday, and the trick is just a little salt in your water, and you just hydrate again.
Now, is this
it
medically
holds water in.
this medically sanctioned?
Yeah.
Like, are you under the care of a doctor, or just
anything,
read an article?
The internet.
Anything more than
He texts.
It's under the care of Google.
WebMD. Anything more than 96, you're supposed to consult a doctor.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what would you do right now? 3:30, you're done, basically?
Yeah, I got to go get a haircut. But then after that, I'll probably be home by like 5:30, so it'll be like 74 hours.
And then you just open a bottle of wine and let her rip.
Yeah, I wish. There's my wife is making a soup with some bone broth, some avocado, some shredded
you'll
chicken.
Ease your way back into
and
it.
that's it. That'll be the first meal.
Could you, when you get this far, you said the toughest part was earlier on.
Oh, yeah. The first like 24 hours are the tough part.
Could you go another 24?
I could. Yeah, I could. Right now, I'm not like hungry.
It'd be delirious.
Well,
I actually am more clear.
No,
Really?
that's what it is.
Yeah.
I told him yesterday. I did this once for a week, and it becomes like it becomes euphoric. Like your head.
I get
is
like
in
a
the
buzz
clouds.
every once in a
There's
while.
like-
Really?
There's like a positive because you feel really clean.
I do like
well,
that.
and awake.
Basically, long story short, the easiest way to do it is the easiest way to describe it is after 24 hours, your body starts to just basically feed on fat.
Right.
Because there's no more glucose in your body. And then, so that's good, right? Like you're and look, we all have a little extra belly fat, right? So then the next step is what they call autophagy, which is the cells, the dead cells in your body start to like fall off and the new ones regenerate, which is good. So that way you don't get sick, right?
Yeah.
And then the last thing is like an HGH spike.
Yeah.
Which is where you get the buzz.
So, Dr. Shadano, is this something you recommend to other people?
Sure.
Really?
If you can pull it off. Like, I have talked to a doctor about, like, I asked before I did it, and they're like, yeah, I mean, you safely, as long as you're healthy, you could do it even once or twice a month if you wanted to.
Trav, how long do you want to do it for?
So, through my schedule,
yes,
I have stumbled into intermittent fasting just because of the
Yeah.
way.
Right.
And
No
I've
doubt.
lost not a significant, but I've probably lost 15 or 20 pounds over the last 6 months.
Wow.
You don't
that's
eat
great,
until
man.
you get home, right?
So I don't eat until I get home. Typically, I don't eat when I get up. I'm here really early. When they bring in food, it becomes a little more of a challenge. But
Yes.
I get home 2:30, 3 o'clock. I'll eat something. Then I eat dinner with the family. And then by 7:30 or 8, I'm not hungry anymore. So I kind of just wandered into it. I've done 18 hours frequently.
Yeah,
but the idea of getting to
that's a good number.
72,
18 is a good number.
That is,
72. Not a
and
joke.
you sleep early.
I do, and I go to bed early.
So
What
he's
time do you
been
get up?
doing
10?
10. Oh, right, because you get up early and
Yeah.
drink here,
Yeah.
He doesn't go
10,
to what time?
10:30?
That you go to bed?
Yeah, 10.
I'm in the 10 to 11 range too.
Yeah, I'm in-
most days.
I'm in the
He's-
10 to 11.
He's in the 8:45. He's starting to go up the stairs.
Oh, I am too.
yeah.
There are days I
Oh,
do
yeah.
that. Not every day, but there are days.
I mean,
like
I
that.
like to crash out, put a stupid documentary on, and fall asleep. I told you yesterday.
Yeah.
The mermaid.
The mermaid
the
documentary
Mer
on
People
Netflix.
documentary is so great.
Emily's going to have to help me out with it because I've got the name of the. So she was telling us the 2 most watched movies and television series on Netflix.
By the way, one of the reasons this is significant is that Netflix has never released their streaming data.
Right.
So this is the first time they're saying, hey, here's how many people watched everything.
Em, do you have those numbers about the Night Agent and whatnot?
So I'm pulling it up right now, but the number one was the Mother, which was Jennifer Lopez's. It was the top movie from Netflix.
Did either of you guys see that?
No, I never watch Netflix anymore.
And it was, the amount of hours was 249.9 million hours watched, and it was the 14th most watched piece of content on Netflix. That was an original Netflix show, but the number one overall was The Night Agent, which was 812 million hours spent watching The Night Agent, which is the equivalent of 100,000 years.
What?
100,000 years
of The Night Agent.
Wow,
must be good. I saw an episode.
Did you? I don't even know the show.
Yeah, I don't either.
It is a guy that has to save the government. And he's the only man that has
Is
the
there a
secret.
star in it?
So it's basically Kiefer Sutherland in 24?
Is there somebody
similar.
famous in it? Is there a famous actor?
Nobody that I recognize, but I'm the wrong guy for that game.
Yeah.
There probably are, just nobody that I would know.
I looked at the list, by the way. I don't recognize most of the shows that are on the list. I think Suits, by the way, came in number 5.
And that's been off the air for 10 years.
Yeah, it's just all of a sudden people discovered it.
Started shoving it down for Netflix.
Top 5
were these are all the original content from Netflix.
Okay.
So this is the ones that are just Netflix shows. So number 2, Ginny and Georgia season 2.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
3, The Glory.
Nope.
No, that's the Korean show, right? I've heard it's really good. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either. Adam's Family, Wednesday, the Wednesday show.
I at least saw
I've seen the spots for.
Like
Yeah.
that.
And then Queen Charlotte, A Bridgerton Story.
Yeah, no. I'm not.
You're not a Bridgerton guy?
Not
Anything
me.
Bridgerton.
How long does Draymond get sent home
That's
for?
so funny. I was literally going to ask that.
What did he
next
get?
question.
He got 5 the first one?
He
probably
got
gets 10.
5 for choking a guy.
By the way,
what do you
what
get for
triggered
punching
that?
a guy
we
in the face?
mentioned Bridgerton, then you went straight to Draymond.
I don't,
Was I-
is
did
there a
something-
choking
did
scene in
something
Bridgerton
trigger
that
in
maybe
your
I saw
mind
at
to
some
make you
point or
think?
another?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what made me think of it.
Yeah.
He's 10 is like the low end, right?
I think that's what he gets.
What's wrong with him?
Yeah, what is wrong with him?
Well, Rasheed Wallace, I don't know if you saw the clip.
I saw that.
Where he's like, he grew up in our locker room, so he does all the bleep hole stuff because of us. It's our fault.
Yeah.
But this is the guy can't stay on the floor.
No.
And
Yeah, this is bad.
And this is when his team needs him.
I was
too.
going to say
They're
they're
right.
under
The-
500.
The team is like right
desperate.
on the edge of, are we going to turn this
Well,
around or not?
They're good. There's a time, like I like live wires, wild cards, whatever you want to call them. Guys that you just kind of don't know what they're going to do next.
I mean, they're good for business, too.
They're good for business, and I think they're good for a team because,
Yeah.
they bring something, an edge that a Steph or a Clay just doesn't have. They're completely unpredictable. And then you go past that line to where now you're just killing us.
Yeah.
Because you can't keep your you-know-what together. I mean, I get it. Under the basket, things happen. You might try to throw an elbow or something. He was out in the corner of the
I know.
floor, and he hit a guy with a spinning back fist like it was a UFC event.
And says, I
was trying to sell the call.
I was trying to sell the call. I didn't do this. I'll tell you when I do something on purpose. This was not on purpose. That's what he said last night. He's just not under control.
He's just not smart.
I mean,
and he's very smart.
I know.
Which is,
No, he's not a dummy, but that was dumb.
Did you guys see Steve Kerr after the game?
No, did not.
No.
He was, like you were saying, he's got such a great personality. This guy's joking around. He was on just the verge of, he wanted to blow up. He really wanted to blow up. And he just kept saying, we'll have to talk to Draymond about it. Yeah, he's got to control his anger.
Yeah,
he's got, but you could just tell this, Steve Kerr is probably saying in his mind, I already am playing so short.
Yeah.
Chris Paul is out as well.
Yeah.
The Western Conference just getting in is going to be a challenge in itself. I already lost Draymond for how many games this year? I got to deal with this again? That it's just nothing is clicking. The dude, when he takes out Jordan Poole last year, part of the probably main reason why Jordan Poole is not there anymore for whatever reason.
Well, he kind of stinks, though. I mean, if we're being honest.
That's true, but for that team, he had some moments.
Nah,
he had some moments in the NBA Finals.
Right, yeah, but he had to go. He was almost unplayable in those playoffs.
I'm not saying that he didn't need to go, but at the same stage, it's like Draymond's involved in critical parts, even the successful parts, but you're at this stage.
Oh, no, I get you. I get you with that, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, the one thing that jumps out at me is I thought the last suspension should have been longer than it was.
For the Gobert choke?
For the Gobert choke. Ireland and Michael were saying he shouldn't have been suspended at all.
I was fine with 5. I actually thought it was going to be like 3, but
this feels like at least 10.
Yeah, because of the repeat offense.
I want to go back to something you said. You said it's good for business, right?
Yeah, the villains are always good.
Is this good?
No, this is bad for the game.
It depends who you ask.
Right, that's what I mean. Yeah,
because the old school NBA guy who doesn't watch as much anymore because they don't believe that there's enough physicality because they love the 90s.
Right.
They love this stuff. You know what I mean? So like they're saying like, oh, that was a Wednesday back in the 90s. You know?
Yeah, like the Morant stuff. There's no question. The league
That's
doesn't
different.
want.
That's a different category.
That's bad for the league. I don't know if this is. They have to pretend that it's bad for their business, but. I don't know if it is.
Wait, so you're saying
I mean, Dennis Rodman kicked a cameraman in the junk.
That's what I'm saying. They're going to suspend him. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the conversation around, hey, we have a guy in this league who might slug someone in the face at any given time. I don't think that's bad for business.
Why do you think people love the NFL? It's the violence.
Well, it's
and the scarcity, the two things combined.
But the rules have changed, and it's not the way
But
the
it still
NBA
happens.
plays anymore.
It's still pretty violent.
It still happens, but it's not. It's nothing like the NFL. It's not comparable.
They collide.
They do collide.
You know, those linemen go into car crashes 100 times a game.
Yeah.
Mace, I lean with you. I think it's bad. I think it's bad for biz. I think when I say bad for biz,
anybody turning off an NBA game because of what Draymond did last night?
If anything, he's back. When he's back,
yes.
people are going to tune in more.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, but he's going to have to sit out 10
It's
games
bad for his
on top
team.
of the 5
Very
games.
bad for his
No
team,
doubt,
but it's not
100%.
bad for the league.
Yeah.
Adam said we're not going to do this, but it's back on.
Benny Benassi.
Something is it Ken Rosenthal? You know,
that's a good place. Super Crosstalks brought to you by In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out. That's what a hamburger's all about. That's where you should go.
Chris just dump trucked Cappy in a big way.
He already dump trucked me a couple of times.
Well, you guys are ice skating later,
We're
right?
skating. It's Blades
I'm
going
going
to
to miss it, unfortunately, but I got to go.
What was the name of that move in Blades of Glory where he kept cutting the guy's head off?
That I don't know.
I don't know
That's
either.
good, but we're going to do it all.
All right, good luck, boys.
By the way, Sedano, today's Sedano's last day until the new year.
Oh, good.
Enjoy
You've
your
got
time
17
off.
commercials to record before you leave today.
Okay, well, I'll do that.
Yeah, good for
Are
George.
you in a bad mood today?
No, not at all, actually.
This is your getaway day.
Yeah.
Wow, good for
And
you.
I get to be the 3. I get to you and Cappy.
No,
get
you're
to
the
be
2. Cappy's the 3.
Are you?
Cappy's the 3.
Are you moving over here, Mace?
I am.
Okay.
Cappy can't be in the A
I'm going to
chair.
try to wrangle this next 2.5 hours.
By the way,
luck.
he wants to repeat the bit for Cappy to hear about that Ireland is the meat shield for Mace.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know what that is.
Hey, John, we got to get Lindsay off the show.
I'm the one that said we.
No,
get
but you
Lindsay
told
off the
John
show.
first, and then John said to us.
No,
and then we
that
saw
was
through
all
it.
me.
John's his meat
Thank
shield.
you.
You were the
He's
driving force?
He's the Decepticon, and he goes to
I'm
John.
a Decepticon, apparently.
I've been called that too.
Yeah.
You're all right.
You want me to dump truck you real quick?
No, please.
No, you
don't.
already did it once. I don't
You guys
need to be
do that
dump
on the
truck. Save
Super
it for the
Combo
ice.
Power Hour.
Yeah.
Save it for the ice.
It's called
Save
the
it for the
710
ice.
combo plate.
That's what I said.
Didn't you say combo power?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's get it right.
Combo
Super 10
power
combo
hour.
plate hour.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Did you see the video of Clinton Yates and I going at it, talking
did.
they
baseball?
went at it.
I did.
They went at it.
I did.
I liked it.
I know you did.
It was nice to walk in here at 10 a.m. and feel some passion.
So here we go.
Yeah, there you go. He's got to take a shot.
It's never
He
hasn't.
just walks in, dumps
Never
on
hasn't.
everybody, and leaves.
Yep, that's the
where
MO.
Ellis's game.
We good?
Yeah,
Slee,
we're
you good?
Hey, we're good.
Yeah, Super Cross Talk brought to you by In-N-Out Burger. That's what a hamburger is all about.